It's time for high school football on Beaver County Radio, a WBVP tradition for over 76 years. Tonight's broadcast is being brought to you by eXp Realty, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Patriot Home Care, Keystone Wellness Programs, Fry Transportation, Forward RX, Electric Garage Door Sales, the YMCA, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, McDonald's, Moon Auto, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, CCBC, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Fisher's New Brighton Foodland, Al's Pizza, Tri-State Sporting Arms, Drug-Free Aliquippa, McGee Heating and Air Conditioning, LGKG, St. Barnabas, Gnu's Body Works, the J&J Spratt Funeral Home, Hallowed Grounds, J. Young Refuse, Zuki Sports Tavern, the Rochester Hotel, Henderson Insurance, D&G Rentals, S.E. Snyder Insurance, and Beaver County Radio, 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP. Now let's head out to the McGee Heating and Air Conditioning broadcast booth for coverage of tonight's game.
Welcome. We are live at Reeves Field at the campus of Geneva College. Beaver Falls hosting New Brighton for the JUG game. I'm Mangino along with Mike Azadian. We'll check in with Tank Latham on the sideline coming up a little bit later on with the eXp Realty sideline reports. The Fisher's New Brighton Foodland pregame show is in full swing. And Mike,
yes,
this
sir.
has the makings of being a really good game tonight. Granted, Beaver Falls is struggling this year.
No doubt.
Hasn't picked up a victory. Beaver Falls, they're beginning to see their tide turn for them and get back to their winning ways. But this is a special game nonetheless.
Yeah, you know, their head coach, Jim Mooney, told us on the Coach's Corner on Wednesday. He said, look, I'm kind of tired of us being called young. All of our kids that are freshmen and sophomores, and they've played through summer, they've played through all this. They're really sophomores and juniors now because he's counting a lot on younger talent. This team was decimated by graduation last year and the year before. They won the WPL championship last year, went to the semifinals in the States last year. But, I mean, when I say they lost everybody, they lost everybody. They lost 20 starters. They've got 5 seniors, 2 or 3 that really play, and only a couple of juniors. When they say young, this team is young. But, like you said, special game. These teams are rivals. They're rivals for a reason. You're talking 62, 28, and 1 over all the years. New Brighton's won 1 in the last 10 years. And you know Beaver Falls, it's on their home turf. They want to protect the home turf. And these kids could get up for this. And if New Brighton doesn't play the game the way they should, it could be all Beaver Falls tonight. You just never know.
You look at Beaver Falls, the way they began the season with a 57-0 loss to Blackhawk. But as the season progressed, they've gotten better and better. Last week against Union, they lose 21-8, but they were within a couple of turnovers from being able to win that game. So they continue to grow and develop. And you talk about the freshmen, they're extremely young. They're extremely small. I mean, there's at least one guy that's suiting up who comes in at 115 pounds that plays safety for them. But for everyone who's listening, you need to know the kids have really raw talent because when they played at the junior high level, they went undefeated. So they have the ability, they have the capability. It's just about growing into what they need to be.
And you're talking about 9th and 10th graders. You're talking about 14 and 15-year-old kids going against 17 and 18-year-old kids in some of these instances. And look who they lost to. Blackhawk is really, they are on the verge of being a playoff team. Mm-hmm. And Monty Christian's a playoff team. Southside's a playoff team. Western Beaver's a playoff team. Mohawk's right there to be a playoff team. Now, Freedom they lost to, but their defense has gotten better, and the schedule has gotten easier. Next week, Riverside, and then at Elwood. So their best chances to win a game this week or next week. And, you know, Jim Mooney said, look, hey, we realize we're going to have to go through this. The seniors and juniors realize we have to go through this. And it's just one of those things that it happens at schools. No one likes it, but in order to get better, you have to keep working now. So these kids are going to be better for it in the future.
Yeah, you think about it back when we were in school all those years ago, but when you first got to 9th grade and you saw all those seniors, they just seemed like they were more like college students. Mm-hmm. And so you have a lot of these kids that are coming in here and playing. They're putting the helmets on, they're putting the pads on, and they're really putting their bodies into this. I'm looking forward to a really good game.
Yeah, me too.
Some of these kids, so young, they're getting one of their first couple of starts. At strong safety, Xavier Clark, he's on his 4th start of his high school career. Cash Stevenson is on only his second start, and Isaiah Sellers is on his fourth. And in the running backs, they're going to run Derek Beck, who's a sophomore, and Hunter Kreiser, who's a sophomore. And they've not really played these positions all season long. But he's wanted to give these kids a chance, and he's seeing something that they're delivering to him in practices. And when they do get their opportunity to get on the field, he's saying, let's go ahead and start them.
And that's a good point. And a lot of times these kids are getting chances simply because, as every football team has, there's injuries. Kenny Jewell was out for a while. He was one of their top talents coming back. He's played some quarterback. He's played some running back. He's played some defense. But, other kids get injured, and when they do, the younger kids have to play even more. So maybe you're not ready to go against the big boys yet, but you're learning. The key for Coach Mooney is going to be keeping these young kids, just like New Brighton has, just like Hopewell has, just like Elwood has. And you keep these kids as a team and a family, like they told us they think about each other as a family. You keep these kids year to year, you will be better next year and the year after that, and things will get better.
One of the freshmen he's really big on, talked to him this afternoon, Anthony Dawkins.
Yes.
He's the freshman who plays both ways, offensive line and defensive line. He's the younger brother to Christian Dawkins. And they lost Christian Dawkins during the spring. And they were looking forward to big things from him this year as a junior. But Anthony Dawkins is one of those players that he just shows it. He's only 185, 5'9", but he plays with a level of intensity with his real baby face off the field. You put a helmet on him, and he's ready to go to battle.
That's a lot of these kids. Some of these kids have a chip on their shoulder because people think you can't do it because you're small and you've never played before and things like that. But that's what I believe Coach Mooney is good at, getting kids to get the best out of themselves. And it's more than X and O's, and I think that Coach Mooney knows that about kids, and he sees that about kids. And one thing you mentioned about the line, that's what they were known for over the years. Yeah, they had good running backs, decent quarterbacks, talent, but, they had a great line the last 3 years, and those kids are all gone.
Well, a couple of players that are still around, and you're right about most of them.
Right.
Malachi West, he's in his senior year. He made some news last year for Beaver Falls.
Right.
And Jacob Jesseman came in a fill position to give guys a breather. He is now their starting center. 300 pounds, this one, 5'11", 300. Jacob Jesseman will be anchoring the line. They're happy about getting Sincere Freeman back this week.
Yes, he was out for a while. Every single team has injuries, and when you get the kids that have the talent come back, and that's the key here for tonight's game. Protect the quarterback, get some guys open, get them the ball. And, New Brighton coming in with a better record and playing better than they have in the last 3 or 4 years. We haven't talked about them that we will. Beaver Falls, they're confident. I heard that, Beaver Falls kids are talking already to the New Brighton kids. Even though they haven't won a game, they feel like this is their rivalry. They've won 68 games to their New Brighton's 20, something like that. They feel like this is their rivalry. They've always felt that way. They've always tried to rub it in. And it's one of those rivalries that New Brighton's got to start showing that they can be a part of.
One of the players they're going to miss tonight, Austin Campbell. He is their starting quarterback. He's a sophomore. 52 for 106, 537 when it comes to total yards, 2 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He's a young guy, but he has a lot of skill, a lot of talent. Not too bad, though, when you have somebody like a Kenny Jewell, who's just an amazing athlete, that is able to step in and fill the shoes for tonight.
Yeah, Jewell's a very good athlete. They used him some as a sophomore, some as a freshman. He's played basketball, so he's got some skill, but he got hurt early on. You're right about Campbell. Campbell has decent stats for a team that hasn't scored a lot, but they're hoping that Joel can step in. He's a very good athlete, and that's going to be a key. Can you protect him? Can you make sure that he doesn't get hit, and can he have time to get the ball to his receivers, which they have some pretty good receivers as well.
Let's check in with Tank Latham, if we could, with the first eXp Realty Sideline Report. And Tank, you had the opportunity to speak with Coach Mooney. What did he say to you just a couple of moments ago?
I talked with Coach Mooney. I had a couple questions. First thing I asked him, what's JUG Week mean for Beaver Falls kids? He said this year's a little bit different with the current year. Look for a lot of Wildcat. I saw 2 or 3 different players down here taking snaps pregame. Should be interesting.
Yeah, Tank, thank you very much. Yeah, he did mention to me that, I'll tell you what, here's the national anthem from the Beaver Falls Marching Band. The Beaver Falls Marching Band, led by band director Robert Good. We're talking about Beaver Falls, and we could see a lot of different players at Wildcat. Don't be surprised if we see Freeman, Jewell, Zashawn McKelvey, maybe even back Dejon Parker. It could be a whole cast of characters that ultimately are playing that position.
Yeah, exactly. Keyshawn Jamison. Zashawn McKelvey was a kid we talked to on Wednesday night at the Coach's Corner. He's one of the veterans that's played some over the last few years, but now he's one of the main guys. Most of the kids that you just mentioned, like the Kenny Jewell, like the Tayshawn McKelvey, they're kids that were thrust into this as leaders in leadership roles. They weren't in the past, and that's what happens in high school football. Other kids leave, you have to step up, and it's different in college, it's different in pros, and sometimes people stay, especially in pros, for long periods of time. But you sometimes have to be doing things that you're uncomfortable with, change positions, but the main thing about Beaver Falls that I got is they're hardworking, they're a family, and even though they haven't won and haven't played well, they're still working hard every day. Which,
absolutely,
to give them credit, they're all working for the future, and the seniors and juniors realize they're part of that right now.
Once again, we are at Reeves Field at the campus of Geneva College for Beaver Falls and New Brighton. Coming up on the Fisher's New Brighton Foodland pregame show from the McGee Heating and Air Conditioning broadcast booth, we'll break down New Brighton as they bring the Lions here tonight. Kickoff in about 16 minutes.
Can you believe fall is already here? This is Diane Ireland of Ireland Contracting. Improve your home energy efficiency and curb appeal with Ireland Contracting. Get new windows, siding, and roofing professionally installed by one of the top contractors in the Pittsburgh area. We specialize in premium siding, Owens Corning shingles, Pella windows, and more. Save your money for the holidays and use 12 months same as cash financing. Call 1-800-NEW-ROOF or visit IrelandContracting.com.
The unexpected happens. When it does, you have peace of mind that you can rely on your insurance agent. As an independent agency, S.E. Snyder in Rochester can represent you to several insurance companies, so we can get you the best coverage for the best price. We pride ourselves in customer service and honest sales, so you shouldn't feel pressured with an insurance quote. If you need a quote or have questions about the coverage you need, talk with us until you're satisfied. Call S.E. Snyder Insurance Agency in Rochester today at 724-774-3584.
You know, I've heard people refer to older veteran athletes as being all washed up. Well, quite frankly, that's a rather nice compliment if you ask me. This is the Aquaman of Beaver County, Jim Riggio from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. When you hear something like that, you have to consider the source of the water, that is. After all, getting washed up with Beaver Falls Municipal Authority water can't be a bad thing. That's because for over 80 years, we've made it possible for everyone to feel washed up, even if they are not star athletes. Click bfwater.net.
I'm Tiani, and I'm equipped.
Hi, I'm John, and I'm a Bobcat.
Hi, I'm Cassie, and I'm a warrior.
I'm David, and I'm a warrior.
Hi, I'm Dominique, and I'm equipped.
This is Daniel from Hopewell, a proud Viking. Well, it's true that when it's game time, we might be on different sides. It's the other team that we are all part of, a team that will make a real difference once the season is over. That's because we are all training for a very long and profitable postseason at the Beaver County Career and Technology Center.
For 45 years now, the Beaver County Career and Technology Center has been creating top-notch performers from all local Beaver County high schools. Our spirited recruits have made the starting lineup and performed like all-stars in many different fields.
Why not join our team? Visit bcctc.org, celebrating 45 years as the best place to start a career. The Beaver County Career and Technology Center.
In order to call the right play, you have to be able to communicate. Dental hygiene not only affects appearance and eating habits, it can also have an impact on your ability to speak clearly. Dr. C. Timothy Lip wants you to keep your teeth in the game, and he has a playbook designed for success so that you can call the right play or even call an audible. Get suited up for a win, or at least a winning smile, by joining Dr. C. Timothy Lip's team in Beaver Falls or Robinson Township. Visit lipdentistry.com.
When it comes to school buses in Beaver County, it's hard not to notice the shiny Fry Transportation fleet. Fry Transportation has been a local family-owned Beaver County business for over 30 years. As any successful football team must be dependable and reliable, these same qualities have made Fry Transportation a champion operation. Best wishes to all local teams and safe travels to the gridirons this season from your friends at Fry Transportation.
Get ready to kick off your game day with everything you'll need for tailgate parties from Fisher's Foodland in New Brighton. Party trays, snacks, beverages. If you're looking for food ideas to make your tailgate party unforgettable, Fisher's has it all. Fisher's Foodland is a complete independently owned and operated grocery store focused on your daily needs for the whole family. Remember, football season is a great reason to visit Fisher's Foodland in New Brighton.
The Fisher's New Brighton Foodland pregame show continues from the McGee Heating and Air Conditioning broadcast booth. Coming up in a few moments, we will take a look at matchups from around the Beaver Valley from the Fry Transportation Update Desk. We'll also take a look at early considerations for the CCBC players of the game. But first, we want to talk a bit about the Lions of New Brighton and what they're bringing to the table. The one player that everybody remembers from last year that came back that is still making a name for himself is number 5, Mike Vion. He's everywhere. He's on offense, he's defense, he's special teams. It seems as though he's the guy that you have to focus on if you're Beaver Falls in wanting to stop.
He had really good stats last year and the year before, and he's also a basketball player. And he's a quiet kid, but the one thing about him is he is really smart. He carries a high grade point average. Other schools, academic schools are looking at him, besides football. But yes, he's a guy that the Beaver Falls is going to have to stop. He's tall, and he can run the ball on reverses. He's good in the flat. He can catch a ball and jump over you. So that's a guy that Beaver Falls has to stop, and that's going to be a problem because in the past, he still had great stats, even though New Brighton wasn't that good. Now that they're better, he's making them get even better with his abilities.
We're going to be mentioning two different players at quarterback, Jaden Salata and Jerome King Jr. They really interchange the two of them depending upon what they want to do, the formation, the down and distance. Both of them will be consistent assets in this game. Well,
John McCouga, when he took over, realized that he had some talent to build with, a lot of kids that have stayed with the program, and realized that Salata was a senior and didn't play quarterback last year, only a little bit because their QB graduated, but also realized that Jaron King is a freshman and has a lot of talent. So you have to kind of get both of them in there because you don't want to just throw King in there all of a sudden next year. So when a freshman proves he has some talent, maybe he takes the job over, and you have to give your talent a chance if you want to get better. So I like the fact that he's not afraid to go with the freshman at times.
Yeah, and considering that he's a freshman, he's already 5'10", 180. He looks great in warm-ups when it comes to throwing that football. Just a real natural passer, almost as though there's no effort at all to his throw.
Yeah, and he's more of a throwing quarterback. He has that 7 touchdowns, where Salata is more of a mix-it-up guy, where he does some throwing, some rushing, so it's a little bit different. So I think depending on the situation, but I'm looking forward to seeing King play because he's a kid that if he keeps growing in the next 2 or 3 years could be a really, really good quarterback coming out of Beaver County.
One of the names that we mentioned a lot during the coverage of New Brighton last year was also Nazir Humphreys. Mm-hmm. And he's almost exclusively now on the defensive side of the ball, really blowing up a lot of things from his outside linebacker position.
Well, you have to have that. You have to have a leader over there. You have to have a kid that was back there last year, a kid that can get tackles, a kid that can make plays, and he's that guy. I mean, and again, he's been through the tough times. He's been through the beatings over the last few years. I mean, you're talking about a team that lost 22 in a row, and when they won earlier in the season, Robert, you know they came back on a bus. I think it was they beat Union or someone early in the year.
It's Shenango.
They come back on the bus, and they're there lighting fireworks off. Half the community was there to cheer them on. So people don't realize what football means to a community. And when you're down and you finally do something good, people want to support. But the key thing is keeping those kids in the school. And you got to realize, 25 years ago, New Brighton had 1,000 kids in their school. They got like 400 in there now. Wow. So, I mean, these Beaver County schools have gone down, but the key is keeping kids that are interested, and keeping them on the team. And if they can do that, that's what you do at New Brighton, and they've done it the last 3 or 4 years.
True testimony, too, to the character of players like Jaden Salata and Mike Vion, who are seniors, that went through their sophomore and junior year without a victory, but they stuck with the program. They wanted to keep on playing, and now they're getting some fruits from all of their efforts. Tank Latham is on the sideline. Tank, you had the opportunity to speak to Coach Makuga. Interesting enough, I understand that both of you graduating from New Brighton just around the same time?
Yeah, we were in the same building. I was a senior when he was a freshman. He never got to really play whenever I played. That was back when junior high football was big in Beaver County. But I definitely know Coach Cougs very well, that's for sure. And I talked to him a little bit about his kids and asked him about the JUG week and what it meant to his team and the way he was working with his regime. And he says it's a huge tradition. The town gets up for it, and these kids are very excited for JUG week.
You know, this game, Mike, it reminds me a little bit of what Michigan, Ohio State is. You could be having a bad season if you're either school, but if you win that game, all of a sudden it makes the season okay.
People have to realize back in the 50s and the 60s, they used to line up on the bridge and fight. Kids, and I'm telling you, talk to Joe Rashid, guys that have been around for a long time in this program. Back in the day, they would fight about this. They would fight. They would go down by the river and fight. They would talk on each other. Now, no one got hurt, but it's a little different now. Fighting now involves weapons, but now they talk at each other on social media and things like that, but it means a lot to these communities. It's just kind of like Beaver Falls and Blackhawk or Rochester and Freedom. Neighboring schools, I had that in high school. We've all had that in different high schools. When you're growing up, you just don't like that neighboring high school. It's always the way it is, but some of these rivalries are so long and so bitter that these kids really, really get up for them.
We will take a look at matchups from around the Beaver Valley coming up next from the Fry Transportation Update Desk in moments on Beaver County Radio.
There's exciting news. A new pharmacy in New Brighton just opened, Forward RX. It's an independent community pharmacy that fills prescriptions at transparent cost-plus pricing on many generic medications. No insurance or discount coupons needed. Brandon Anthonopoulos will discuss your needs and how Forward RX can help you save money. The pharmacy experience you deserve is more affordable than you think. Become a Forward member today. Stop in 809 3rd Avenue, New Brighton, or check their prices at FWDRX.com.
Getting into the lineup and making the team is easy at Freedom United Federal Credit Union. Training camp is starting and you are invited. This is Coach Andy Dangle and I'm looking for new teammates. Membership is open to many organizations and groups throughout the county. Join my team at Freedom United Federal Credit Union. Details and applications are available now. Visit Freedom United Federal Credit Union today. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Your Beaver County McDonald's restaurants are proud to partner with Beaver County Radio in sponsoring all the local high school football games this season. Stop into any of your local McDonald's restaurants for everyday value items like 2 for $3 mix and match, sausage burrito, sausage McMuffin, and hash browns. Don't forget to download the app for extra special savings. Looking for a great part-time job? Visit McHire.com today to apply. Good luck to all the Beaver County football teams this season from your local McDonald's restaurants. I'm loving it.
Listening to live sports on the radio in Beaver County is a tradition. This is Craig Fontana from Moon Township Ford, and I ought to know. My dad, Bill Fontana, has called games for over 50 years. Beaver County people know a good call when they hear one, and the best call you can make is to buy your next new or used vehicle at Moon Township Ford. Click moontownshipford.net or visit Moon Township Ford on University Boulevard.
Belconi's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
You're listening to 2024 high school football coverage on Beaver County Radio from the McGee Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. Tonight's game is being brought to you in part by Falcone's Moon Township Ford, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, the Community College of Beaver County, Fisher's New Brighton Foodland, Al's Pizza in New Brighton, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Tri-State Sporting Arms, Drug-Free Aliquippa, McGee Heating and Cooling, LGKG, the St. Barnabas Health System, and Beaver County Radio.
Let's take a look at the Fry Transportation Update Desk and matchups around the Beaver Valley. Montour is at Ambridge today.
Yeah, this is pretty much you have to win if you're Ambridge for any chance to make the playoffs. Montour fighting for first place, and first place should be decided next week when they play Aliquippa.
Blackhawk figured out a way of coming back and beating Ambridge last week.
Big.
But they the Quips tonight.
Yeah, Blackhawk, it's going to be interesting to see if they can be competitive with Aliquippa. Aliquippa hasn't been upset by a team in its conference in a long time, so waiting to see if Blackhawk can do that tonight.
Beaver is at North Catholic.
That's another big game because the winner should make the playoffs. The loser, if it's North Catholic, is on the outside looking in and hopes to be one of those wild card picks.
Central Valley, they have Quaker Valley. It should be a pretty easy night for Central Valley. Yeah, it should be easy
because QV just doesn't have it this year.
Cornell and Rochester. Will Rochester continue their winning ways?
Well, I don't know. Cornell's pretty good. Cornell's lost to really good teams. Rochester's just getting some injuries back. That's a rivalry game, too. They're not. It's a non-conference game, but Cornell pretty strong. I think they could handle Rochester.
Another big rivalry tonight across the river, Elwood City and Riverside.
Yeah, a lot of people ask us, how come we're not doing that game? Well, we're hoping to do Elwood again. We did Riverside once. That was a consideration. That's interesting. If Riverside can beat them, they may have a shot at the playoffs. Elwood City, continuing their winning ways, will stay undefeated.
Freeport and Hopewell.
That's a weird non-conference game. Freeport's pretty good. Hopewell, it's going to be interesting to see if Hopewell can win that game, because if they can and continue to win, they are one of the teams in consideration for a wild card.
Another big matchup, Newcastle and West Allegheny tonight.
Loser of that game likely won't make the playoffs. Winner of that game still has a shot at a wild card.
And maybe the game to watch tonight, if you can get to it, and Neshannock and Southside is another big one.
I'll tell you what, the winner of that likely wins the conference. That's another really good game. Two really good squads, very well-coached squads. That's going to be an interesting matchup. You're right.
All right. We are just a minute or so from kickoff. We'll come back with it in a moment on Beaver County Radio.
Looking for a fall activity for your children? Pass and score your way into the Beaver County YMCA's Youth Soccer League. The league will teach the basic fundamentals of soccer. There will be one practice a week teaching drills and skills. This soccer league is for kids ages 5 through 12 and runs from September 10th to October 19th. Registration is already open. To register, go to beavercountyymca.org.
And here we go, Reeves Field, Geneva College, just inside of Beaver Falls, and it is a great matchup, the JUG game between Beaver Falls and New Brighton, the Tigers and the Lions. We are hoping that it's going to be an oh my matchup tonight.
Yep, we're hoping.
New Brighton in all white with their crimson helmets, kicking it off to Beaver Falls, who takes it at the 25-yard line and immediately taken down. Mike Vion already in on a play and a takedown at the 25.
Well, that's one of those where New Brighton's smart. They don't want to kick it deep to one of Beaver Falls' fast guys, so you kick it off to the side. Real quick, coming into the year, Beaver Falls was 8th all-time in the WPL in wins with 705. They were 6 behind Greensburg-Salem. Of course, Aliquippa still number 1, and Rochester was sitting at 9th. So 3 Beaver County teams in the all-time wins total.
Beaver Falls lining up, and we have a pre-snap penalty to get things started. It looks as though it may have been movement by Beaver Falls. Interesting formation. What's really interesting about this, too, is that we have 2 first-year coaches that are taking over the reins here. John McCouga in his first year and Jim Mooney in his first year.
Neither one have been head coach before. That penalty on New Brighton, so it gives Beaver Falls 5 yards. But, it's good. Get some younger guys in there, get some new blood. Jim Mooney's been a coach on the sidelines, an offensive coordinator, a lineman coach for a long, long time, and told me he just thought it was the right time after he discussed it with his wife.
Beaver Falls set up, pistol formation, man in motion, taken, and then another penalty on that play at the 30. And this time it is motion against Beaver Falls. So that goes from a 1st and 5 back to a 1st and 10. And
one thing we didn't talk about, our early picks for who we thought would be.
Well, let's go ahead and do that right now. Who do you like at this point for the
New Brighton,
CCBC?
Sincere Freeman, and for New Brighton, Mike Vion, and for Beaver Falls, Sincere Freeman.
Tank, what do you think at this point? Who are you going to be watching?
I'm going to be watching Jaden Salata, number 3 for New Brighton, and big number 53 for Beaver Falls. He was in Pregame.
All right. Inside handoff. Breaking it over the left side. Big pickup out to the 40, 45, 50. He's sprinting down the sideline. What a nice run. That one by Zashawn McKelvey. Picked up big yardage on that on a 1st and 10 from the 25. Able to get it all the way out inside the 50-yard line to the 45 of New Brighton.
How about the speed? Around the end, he got through the line, and then once he got to the outside, his speed just took over. They could not catch up to him. Very, very nice blocking and a good play to get a first down into the Brighton territory.
Wildcat one more time. They're going the opposite direction this time, trying to find some room and not able to get anywhere on the play. Derek Beck taken down for a loss of 1.
Yeah, they tried something different, and this time was inside handoff, but the New Brighton defense was not fooled, and they made the tackle for about a 1-yard loss.
Across the front 5 for Beaver Falls, Terrence Banks, he's a 6'1", 254-pound sophomore. Noah Inman is at left guard. Jacob Jesseman is at center. Anthony Dawkins at right guard, and Malachi West at right tackle. Handoff one more time, this time to Zashawn McKelvey, and he's able to get back to the line of scrimmage no more. 3rd and 11.
He's not a big guy. Met him on Wednesday at our show. I mean, he's 5'6", 140, but he's fast. 100 yards last week, 27 touches. So he has the ability. Got to get that blocking. He can get through the holes. Then you put him one-on-one with a linebacker or a defensive back. Then that's what he did the first time up, but has to hit that hole quick. New Brighton plugged it up pretty good for no gain.
Matt Steele, Braden Dietz, Dom Pasquale, they anchor the line for New Brighton. Nazir Humphreys could be up, could be down, depending upon the formation and the down and distance. And quarterback keeper trying to get some yardage, able to pick up just 2 on that play to the 44 and no more for Kenny Jewell.
Yeah, you know what? Looked like one of those option plays. Looked like he was going to hand off, but I think the New Brighton line kind of knew that might happen, so they stayed put, and he ran right into them, and there was nowhere to go. So they're going to line up to punt, which some people wouldn't, but I think this is a smart move. Get field position early if you're the Tigers.
Zashawn McKelvey is back to punt. He's on his own 43, and it looks like it's going to be beyond the return. But however, it was blocked and recovered at the 49-yard line of Beaver Falls. That block by what looked like Bryson Porter-Jones coming in there and making that play.
Yeah, he was one of the guys, I'm pretty sure, thought it was
Joey Kennedy, number 18, he was in there too.
He was in there too. You know what? It just took a long time to get the punt off. It just did. I mean, you got to get it off right away. He didn't. First mistake, Beaver Falls. Let's see if New Brighton can capitalize, Robert.
New Brighton now in a spread formation. And it looks as though they're going Wildcat to start things off, or straight up the middle, and a pickup of about 5 yards for Mike Vion. Why not go ahead and give him the ball as often as you can, right?
I agree. I mean,
Took it from the Wildcat.
As long as he stays healthy, he's your top offensive weapon. You want to use him as much as you can.
Jerron King Jr. is coming in at quarterback now.
Yeah, they're going to switch things up.
2nd and 5 for New Brighton. Makuga has Harry Gerting that he has as his offensive coordinator, and he says, listen, he's calling all the plays. He has complete confidence in his offensive coordinator. First play of 5 yards, nice pickup. Pass over the middle and incomplete. Trying to find Josiah Montanez around the hash marks, not able to make the connection. All of his receiving yards, 118 of them, all of them on screen passes. That was the first time they had him go downfield.
You know, Montanez out-jumped the competition. He's 5'9", and he jumped higher, but he just didn't pull it down. It was right in his hands.
Offense for New Brighton. Kenton Pavlovich is at left tackle. Dom Pasquale, Braden Dietz, Ashton Molesky, and Matt Steele across the front 5. Man in motion. Hands it off. Has it on the sweep. Looking for that edge. Taken down not after he gets first down yardage. That pickup by Mike Cleckley, the second. Able to get nice yardage and a first down for New Brighton.
Real quick, our refs tonight, the referee is Dennis Lauria. The line judge is Adam Young. Head linesman Skip Napier. Line judge Chris Sarich. Side judge Dean Lauria. And field judge Bobby Joe Bella. Second week in a row we've had a young lady as a referee.
Salata in a quarterback. Hands off on the sweep. Able to get to the edge and get inside the 30-yard line. Pickup of 6 on that play. Nice run by New Brighton. Once again, Mike Vion with the number being called.
You know what? They are being successful going left and right on Beaver Falls. Even though Beaver Falls has some speed guys on defense, they've been able to go left and right and get good yardage.
The front four, Beaver Falls, Antonio Frederick, Malachi West, Jacob Jesseman, and Anthony Dawkins trying to anchor things on that line. Handoff right up the middle. Heath Lewis has it, and a pickup of just a couple on this one, setting up a third and what looks to be 2.
Well, Beaver Falls on that time had 3 down linemen. They had 6 guys up in the box as linebackers and 2 defensive backs. Because New Brighton is in a heavy run formation, so Beaver Falls is in a run-prevent defense, and only 3 down linemen. Let's see if they do it again. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 linebackers again, and actually 6. No, 5.
Salata, the running quarterback, is in. Fakes the handoff, quarterback keeper calls his own number, and he is not going to get first down pickup. In fact, he lost a yard on the play, and now a penalty flag coming in from the head referee.
Yeah, they might call that as intentional, as a little bit of roughing, but I don't know. I thought it was a solid tackle. We just wrapped him up and threw him down, but in this day and age, you can't be violent, and it seemed they're going to call personal foul, I think, on Terrence Banks. Banks wrapped him up and just threw him into the ground, but you just can't do that in this day and age. You just can't.
Right.
So that's going to go against BF and probably be a first down, though.
So they're going to mark this off beginning at the 28-yard line. Oh, sorry, the 31-yard line. And they're bringing it all the way in to the 15-yard penalty.
Yep, personal foul.
New Brighton set up in great situation here.
You know, that wouldn't have been a penalty
zone.
15 years ago. He wrapped him up and threw him down. I mean, I don't know what you're supposed to do, wrap him up and fall on him? If you do that, then it's tough.
Yeah, in this instant replay, he basically did a wrestling move on him, like a belly-to-back suplex or something.
I'm not a big fan of that call.
Handoff on a sweep around the outside. Mike Vion has it inside the 10, down around the 9-yard line, first and goal for the Lions of New Brighton.
Tank saying it's a kid diving in that was, it wasn't the tackle, it was someone diving in on the place. Thank you, Tank. But either way, yeah, I didn't mind the tackle. I was kind of surprised that Tank clarifies that for us. Hey, that's what we got the best sideline guy in Beaver County tonight.
I'm telling you.
On the sidelines.
Tremendous insights
in this game
while the game is being played with Tank. All right, Salata has it. Under center. I formation behind him. 3 wide receivers. 2 to the right, 1 to the left, and they dive with the fullback right up the middle. He keeps on plowing forward, won't stop, and in the end zone he goes. Touchdown, wow. New Brighton.
Interesting, they didn't stop him, and they didn't call it. So that's going to be a 3-yard TD. 9-yard TD. That's coming back. The Brighton holding call, that's coming back.
That was a great pickup. What was wonderful to see was that he just was not going to be
stopped.
Look at the
replay. They're not tackling him, and he's gaining forward motion, but they're going to call it, and he's all the way back to the 19 from the 9. So it happened at the line of scrimmage. So 2nd and 13. Beaver Falls did the right thing. They took the yardage.
7:03 to go in the first quarter. This time, Salata is set up in the shotgun. Running backs on either side. Back to pass and
somebody
a flag.
Somebody moved.
The far line judge is calling what looks to be offsides against Beaver Falls.
Wow. Now, Beaver Falls cost himself a couple of times, but here you are at 2nd and 13. You give them 5 more yards. You make it easier. And this is 4-down territory. They have 3 plays to make 8 yards now.
Yeah, Caden Pavlinch is their place kicker, but when you're this close and you have the opportunity, you'd think that they would want to go and try to get that first down and then go goal to goal at that point. And so now Salata has it, shotgun formation, running backs on either side, takes it, looks down the right side, finds a man, completes it at about the 6-yard line. Bryson Porter-Jones on the reception.
Interesting. That'll be a first down, but him and Vion on the right side, and Vion, when he got to the 5, the cornerback went right to where the ball was thrown. Vion was wide open in the end zone.
Salata under center, I formation. he decides to keep it and just plow forward. And the Beaver Falls Tigers were able to hold and give him a pickup of only 1.
They've been playing tough up the middle, and running up the middle against them hasn't really worked. They've done really well. Now, that whole left side is open since they're on the right hash mark. Second down, they're going to give him a couple, so it'll be second and goal. The clock hasn't changed yet. But
the ball looks to be at the 5-yard line on the far hash mark. If you're listening on the radio or on the St. Barnabas app, New Brighton is going from right to left, and they're at the 5-yard line on the far hash marks.
So it should be second down now and goal.
3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And a fumbled snap picked up by the tailback, trying to plow his way forward, keeps the legs moving. The Powell still not stopping. And inside the 5, close to the 2-yard line, maybe even the 1, depending upon the final mark by the officials.
Exactly what happened when they scored, right?
Yes.
They kept pumping the legs. This time, his forward motion stopped, and they got him at the 2, so that should be third down and goal from the 2.
And this is difficult for Beaver Falls. They don't have a lot of guys that they can really put up big up in the middle. Jacob Jesseman, their nose guard, comes in at 300. They need him to stop this momentum. And are they able to on this fullback dive play? And it looks as though they did. Just outside the end zone, inside the 1, maybe a football length away.
Got to go for it here, 4th and 1. I would think they're going to line up real quick, too. Maybe they go quarterback sneak. I'd go left, go right, option play. Nope, there's going to be a timeout call by Beaver Falls, I think.
Timeout, Beaver Falls.
Beaver Falls.
Yeah, they're taking a timeout to talk about this, and we'll take a timeout with them. Back in 30 seconds on Beaver County Radio.
How can I help my child to make positive choices?
Start with a conversation. Start making the difference.
Beaver County Parents, is your child between the ages of 10 and 14? If so, Keystone Wellness Programs is offering the Strengthening Families program in your area. This free program is designed for families to have fun together while learning ways to promote family bonding and communications. For more information about upcoming sessions near you, visit KeystoneWellnessPrograms.org. Paid for with PA taxpayer dollars.
Let's go to Tank Latham on the sideline. Tank, what are you seeing? How close is this?
So he was literally half football length from being in the end zone. It was real close. I was down there on the end zone watching down the line. There's like 3 Tigers that stopped him from getting in the end zone. Let's see what happens this play right here.
Salata under center. Hands it off to Heath Lewis, and he continues to move his legs. And yes, the officials say he got into the end zone. Touchdown, Heath Lewis, putting up New Brighton 6-0.
1-yard TD. And I'll tell you what, Beaver Falls did a really good job there on defense, but it's tough. You know, so many plays down the end there, and he barely got in. So New Brighton takes the lead here midway through that first quarter.
And you're absolutely right. It isn't as though New Brighton was able to get in easily, even when they knew they were going to run up the middle. They don't have a lot of big guys for Beaver Falls, but they were able to hold their ground. Extra point is up, and the extra point is no good. 4:57 to go in the first quarter, 6-0. The Lions over the Tigers on Beaver County Radio.
Your Beaver County McDonald's restaurants are proud to partner with Beaver County Radio in sponsoring all the local high school football games this season. Stop into any of your local McDonald's restaurants for everyday value items like 2 for $3 mix and match, sausage burrito, sausage McMuffin, and hash browns. Don't forget to download the app for extra special savings. Looking for a great part-time job? Visit McHire.com today to apply. Good luck to all the Beaver County football teams this season from your local McDonald's restaurants. I'm loving it.
To give you an idea of how young this Beaver Falls Tigers team is, they're starting 4 freshmen and 1 sophomore, 2 juniors, only 4 seniors in the starting lineup on defense for Beaver Falls.
They fought tough. They're a tough fighting team, but again, we talked all about that. Here comes another squib.
Down at the 40-yard line, nice play by the up man to be able to just knock that down. Hunter Kreiser in on that.
There's a lot of the reasons you do that. One, a lot of inexperienced kids on the on the kick teams. If it bounces off him, you might get a lucky bounce and get it. We've seen that happen before.
Oh, yes.
If someone goes on it, then, yeah, you give up some yardage, but you're not kicking it to the supreme talented guys in the back. And it's, I think, a smart move by New Brighton. And they give up a little bit of yardage, but they don't have anybody run back on them.
Everybody's in a tight formation except for the wide receivers. Now wide receiver going out to the right side. And a run over that left side and a drag and a takedown of Jashawn McKelvey as he was trying to get outside. Pickup of just 2 on that play.
Yeah, when you look, you just see New Brighton at the line just so much bigger. Some of those kids now, 2 and 3 years experience, a lot bigger than they've been the last 2 years. And you're going up an inexperienced line for Beaver Falls. They have a couple of guys, but they just don't match up well. There's not a lot of running room right now.
Yeah, the defense for New Brighton, 9 players are either juniors or seniors.
Mm-hmm. They've all stuck with the program.
And now Beaver Falls shifting. And a sweep over the right side, able to make a couple of men miss. And Sincere Freeman able to get first down pickup. 13 yards on that play, all the way into the 47 of New Brighton.
Well, I think the key on that is he comes around and he looks and decides, does he go outside? Where's the blocking? Where's the coverage? He saw a hole right on that right side of the line, and he cut back in. And then he starts making some moves to get around guys, bigger guys. Nice play, really well drawn up play for Beaver Falls.
And initially they were set up where it was the quarterback and then 2 tailbacks on either side, and then they shifted. They just did it again going to the left side. And McKelvey has it one more time. He gets taken down at the ankles at the 45-yard line, loses a football. But it looks as though the officials are saying, no, he was down by contact at the 45.
Yeah, boy, I tell you what, if he doesn't get tripped up, he probably gets 5 to 7 more yards. But he gets a couple, and nice, well-drawn-up play there for him. The blocking was there. Someone just dove and got him by the ankles.
2nd and 8 for Beaver Falls. John McCouga's defense is led by their defensive coordinator, Joe Tabay. And Beaver Falls now set with a 2 wide receiver look to the left side. They shift again on the backfield, and Sincere Freeman has it. Runs into a couple of players, will not go down until he gets inside the 30-yard line. Nice big pickup. Needed to get to around the 37, took it all the way to the 30. Beaver Falls is moving on this drive.
Well, he's a guy that, Beaver Falls was hoping to do something, and we talked about him a little bit in the pregame, and so far so good. He's made a couple of big plays. Whoops. And Beaver Falls in business at the 30.
McKelvey is in the Wildcat. Running backs in front of him. He's looking for some room, and he's stopped right at the 30. Great penetration by New Brighton on that one. And it was led by the Brighton defense. Heath Lewis from his middle linebacker position made great penetration on that play.
Held on to his ankle. I mean, you hit a guy, you got to hold on. Some guys can bounce off. If you hit guys at the shoulders, the strong running backs, they'll bounce off you. New Brighton's smart. You hit a guy low, you hold on to his legs, you trip them up. That's key in tackling, and a lot of people don't do that well, but he held on, prevented him from moving. So it'll be 2nd and 10 at the 30. And now we're getting an official's timeout, I believe.
Well, there's a penalty flag at the 27.
Yes.
But the play clock was only at 13.
I see everybody. Looks like 11 on 11 there. Officials are going to talk.
Here comes the official call. Dead ball foul against New Brighton.
Interesting. I didn't see anything that even looked like it could be a foul. I didn't see anything that even resembled a foul.
It looks as though it was an unsportsmanlike call.
Yeah, they're going to get 15 yards. They're going to go all the way to 15.
Tank, any insights on why they got the unsportsmanlike?
I did not see that one.
Okay. So now it's 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Beaver Falls in the shift. Sincere Freeman, direct snap. Looking for some room on the outside. Thinks he may have it, but just driven out of bounds. And a no gain on that play.
Might have lost a half a yard. New Brighton, good defense there, but where that 15 yards really could kill them because, Beaver Falls now, they're a good play or two away from scoring a touchdown. I don't want to say this is a must touchdown. This is deep penetration now near the end of the first quarter, their best drive, and you want to try to score and keep up with what New Brighton's done. You don't want to get down a couple scores when you're winless.
Beaver Falls has only put up 14 points in the last 4 games. Snap back to the quarterback, hands off to Freeman, and Freeman is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. 2-yard loss on that one. Braden Dietz, one of the captains of this team, 5'8", 225, shot the gap between the center and the guard and able to take Freeman down.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot. We've seen a lot of guys shooting the gap, and Beaver Falls hasn't been able to hold their blocks. There's always not a lot of running room. Sometimes there has been, but this brings up third down. They've got 12 yards to go, 2 times to try to get it.
Joel's in the quarterback position, takes the snap, hands it off, and stoppage. Penalty flag on the field around the 20.
It's going to be on Beaver Falls, I think.
Movement for Beaver Falls.
Makes things harder, and they have not really passed the ball. That's the thing. They're in the end rounds, doing the sweeps, using Sincere, using their athletes. They're getting their athletes involved, but they're not getting them in the space. They haven't really thrown the ball. Joel's not really a throwing quarterback, but now at 3rd and 17, they may have to throw to get this first down. If not here, then on 4th down. Because I don't think they're in field goal territory. I don't know if they could kick this long. They got to get at least 8 to 10 yards here.
Kenny Joel has it, running the option, decided to keep it himself, able to get inside the 20, but no further than that, setting up a 4th down decision. They have to get down to the 5. And so what does Mooney do here? Mooney doesn't have the luxury of an offensive coordinator, so he's actually calling all the plays. Lost his offensive coordinator before the season started.
And that's surprising, too, because he's a line guy. And they have a half a second or almost a second difference from the play clock, so they're going to have to run a play here by the end of the first quarter.
4th down, 15 to go. Snap back, handoff, a pass, and a completed pass, but short. McKelvey threw it back to Jewell. It was a completed pass, but it's down at the 9. He had to get to the 5.
Well, you know what? To be honest with you, would have loved to see that on 3rd down. But that was a really well drawn up play.
Yes,
kind
it
of
was.
A flea flicker. And if you get that on 3rd down, now you only have, 3 yards, 2 yards to go to first down? But they didn't turn it over. They did turn it over, but New Brighton has it deep in their territory. Now, if they can play some defense here and get the ball back, it's not a bad play. I just wish they would have done it earlier for their sake.
New Brighton now has it. 1st and 10 from what looks to be the 9-yard line. They're going to get one play off, it seems, before the end of the quarter. Handoff right up the middle and taken down at around the 14-yard line.
How about
and that will end the first quarter.
Each team, New Brighton had it twice, Beaver Falls twice in the first quarter.
New Brighton up 6-0 over Beaver Falls. The second quarter next on Beaver County Radio.
Do you want a chance to win $1,000? Head over to the Rochester Hotel and watch your favorite NFL team every Sunday. Ask the bartender for a ticket to enter your name for a chance to win the $1,000 cash prize for free. Everyone is eligible to enter one entry every Sunday throughout the entire NFL season. Enjoy this football season with specials on all your favorite game day foods and drinks at the Rochester Hotel. The winner of the $1,000 cash prize will be chosen on Super Bowl Sunday. So head out to the Rochester Hotel every Sunday this NFL season for your chance to win $1,000.
Let Hallowed Grounds Coffee Roastery of New Brighton help you start each day with a winning cup. Taste the thrill of victory in every sip of Hallowed Grounds heavenly roasted coffee. Brew up a win when you shop small and support a local business. Help Hallowed Grounds celebrate the home team spirit and get into the zone by clicking on hallowedgrounds.com. Or score big when you stop in person at Hallowed Grounds Coffee Roastery in New Brighton. Brew, sip, and celebrate.
We will get to the Fried Transportation Update Desk in just a moment. There are scores happening aplenty all over the Beaver Valley, but right now we're looking at a 2nd and 5 for New Brighton to start the second quarter from their own 14-yard line. They have to get to the 19. Spread formation, handoff, back over the left side, and then runs right into a Beaver Falls Tigers defensiveman.
Yep.
And pick up of just 2 on that play.
Exactly. I mean, good play by Beaver Falls to stand him up. I mean, only a couple of yards. That brings up 3rd down now and 5.
Friday Transportation Update desk, couple of scores here for you. Aliquippa all over Blackhawk, 21-0. They're still in the first. Still Valley on top of Ulsh, 21-0. West Allegheny, 7-0 on top of Newcastle. They're tied at 6 between Cornell and Rochester. And Moon up on Baldwin, 6-0. Beaver, 7-0 on North Catholic. Shotgun, back to pass. Hits his receiver at the 21, taken down at the 25. That was a pass by Jerome King Jr., the freshman coming in. And like you mentioned earlier today, Mike, he's the one that they're going to bring in when they really want to throw the ball.
And the defense kind of was 5 yards off of it. There's 2 guys on him, but they weren't guarding him man-to-man. They just kind of let him catch the ball, then brought him down. So it was an easy first down. So they weren't playing up on the line. They didn't chuck him. And Beaver Falls defense they decide to stay off the man and kind of lay off kite that coverage.
And a pickup of a penalty after the play takes them all the way out to the 40-yard line.
Things like that hurt a young team, and that hurt Beaver Falls again now. New Brighton all the way, exactly like you said, up to the 40-yard line.
New Brighton going with 3 wide, 1 to the left, 2 to the right. Vion's in the slot. Snap back. Handoff over that left side, trying to find some running room. He gets it, keeps those legs moving all the way to the 44, maybe even the 45. Josiah Montanez, they call him JoJo. A nice pickup.
Well, he kept his legs going. If he would have stopped running, he'd have probably had a 2-yard gain, but he made it 4. I mean, they keep their legs churning, but Beaver Falls tough against the run so far today.
3 wide receivers. Backfield, and Heath has it out over the 45, close to the 46, and then wrapped up, setting a 3rd and 4.
I think Beaver Falls smelled that out because I saw one of I can't see who it is, numbers-wise, but somebody was unblocked, got into the backfield, and got a body on him before he got his legs going, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 4. They kind of wonder if New Brighton's in 4-down territory here or not. I don't know. Something tells me they're going to run, but they probably should pass here. We've seen them be successful a couple of times since they've passed.
Jerron King Jr., once again, he is in a quarterback, the freshman. And if he's in, they almost always are going to pass. Vion is in motion from right to left. Handoff, though. This one going to Heath Lewis, and Heath getting just a few yards on the play. He needed to get to the 50. He only made it to the 49.
I think New Brighton's going to go for it here. 4th and 1. They're up by 6, and they want to put it right to New Brighton. I think they're going to go for it here. They're at the 50. If they give it up, their defense has played pretty well. This could be a turning point in the game if they do not make it. Good chance for Beaver Falls to stand strong here.
King under center. Running backs behind him. They decide to keep it.
Somebody moved.
And
don't know who.
Timeout, New Brighton.
Oh, it's timeout. Interesting.
And it's a good thing they called timeout because they were not going to get it on that play.
Yeah, they got a couple of big guys for Beaver Falls right up the middle, and New Brighton continually wants to run right up the middle against Beaver Falls' best guys. I'm a little surprised by that. They started out running left and right, and they were successful, if you remember, on the first drive. But since that time, they haven't done those misdirections and gone outside. They've tried to go up the middle. They've got 4 yards here, 3 yards there, but I'm not a big believer in running against the team's strength.
Jacob Jesseman, once again, he's the nose tackle, 5'11", 300 pounds, and he's really able to control that guard-to-guard movement whenever they try to run up the middle. He is bookended by Malachi West, the senior, at 5'10", 235, and Anthony Dawkins, the freshman, that is skilled enough to where Mooney has him playing both ways as a starter. He's playing extremely well, 5'9", just 185. but they're able to hold that line pretty firm in the New Brighton offense in their running attack. So they have 1 yard to go. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. I formation stacked next to the quarterback, and it looks as though Beaver Falls jumped.
Wow.
And they did, and
down.
they gave him the first down.
Yeah.
Sincere Freeman wanting to make a play. Just a little too
I mean, you give
anxious.
the kids credit for trying hard, but boy, that's 2 or 3 penalties that have really cost them. That's the second one that's cost them a first down. And at midfield, too, you need to make a big stop there. Now you give them at least 3 more plays.
Yeah, one of the greatest coaches ever, Bob Palco, told me once that what he expects of his young guys is to be able to make sure they can do the no-talent things.
Mm-hmm.
And the no-talent thing is not move until the ball snapped.
Exactly. You can teach kids to block. You can teach kids to lift weights and get stronger. You can teach kids better tackling techniques. Can't really teach speed. Can't teach athleticism. But you're right. Dead ball penalties, stupid penalties, things that you just can't do to hurt a team. And in key moments like that in games, it keeps drives going.
Yeah, pre-snap penalties, post-whistle penalties. Pickup of 4 on that play. 2nd and 6 for the Lions. Hand off to Lewis up the middle. Spins, keeps his legs going. First down pickup all the way down inside the 34. Nice run by Lewis.
Interesting to see. Beaver Falls has guys on the left and right side of the line, linebackers that are coming in unblocked. And sometimes they get there and sometimes they don't. And then New Brighton's able to run up the middle where no one's at. It's kind of weird. Usually a lot of teams will stack the middle against running teams, and Beaver Falls not doing that. They're trying to get in there as the ball gets handed off. That's why Freeman was called for the offsides play. So see if they change things on defense at all.
Shotgun formation one more time. King has it. Takes the handoff. Double reverse, though, actually, around the right side, and Beaver Falls was able to sniff that out.
It's a nice tackle.
Really, really nice tackle on that one. Mike Cleckley had the ball coming around the right side, and that cornerback that was on this end was able to maintain position and bring him down for a pickup of maybe 1, perhaps 2.
Cleckley, a big Beaver Falls name. And one-on-one, where that kid gets by him, he's probably got 10 yards or more, first down and even more probably, because there weren't a lot of people over there because everybody else bit the fake for Vion going left. I got to tell you, that's a really nice tackle for 2 yards.
3 wide receivers stacked to the left. Pass out to the flat. Got it. Montanez has it, looking for the sideline, knocked out of bounds inside the 30, close to the 29. 3rd and 4 now.
I got to tell you, Beaver Falls is in position for their tackles. They're there. They're just a little smaller, and there's times where New Brighton just overpowers them and gets that extra 3 or 4 yards. But Beaver Falls seems to be there for the plays, for the tackles, in position.
Officials saying he was knocked out a yard shy of the 29, so he's at the 30. So it's a 3rd and 5. Beaver Falls playing some pretty stout defense at this point.
2 big plays here for the Tigers.
Man in motion. Pass, slant pattern, intercepted. He's running it back to the 30, 35, to the 40. Continues to keep those legs going all the way to the 45-yard line. That interception by the freshman, Xavier Clark. He's on his 4th start and able to get that ball out of the air. It was a deflection on the pass. You get it and run it back for a nice pickup for Beaver Falls. The defense for Beaver Falls stood.
I mean, they're bending 3 yards here, 4 yards there, first down here, mistake here. But that's a big play, a really big play. Like I said, they're there on the coverage. They're there with the receivers. They're there to make the tackles. And they're not getting completely dominated. And New Brighton makes a mistake. That's their first big mistake. Now let's see if Beaver Falls can capitalize on this. Only down 1 touchdown.
1st and 10 from the 45, going from right to left. Snap back. Toss. Trying to find some room. It has it. Breaks a couple of tackles all the way inside the 40-yard line. So Sean McKelvey, pickup of what looks like 16 yards on that play.
Got to tell you, when you break some tackles and you have speed like he has, It's almost like New Brighton has a letdown. You know what I mean by that? The New Brighton's let down a little bit. First offensive play, you get a first down. That's a big shot in the arm for Beaver Falls. Now they're deeper in the New Brighton territory at the 39. You can see the goal post, see the goal line, and now you fight harder to try to get first downs and get that touchdown to go ahead here in this game.
Kenny Jewell is in the quarterback spot. He is in for the injured Austin Campbell. Snap back to him. They fake it, give it to McKelvey one more time. He's all the way back inside his own 50-yard line and then drug out of bounds around the 48, maybe the 49. Loss of nearly 9 yards on that play.
I see what they were doing, and I see the play, but it broke down because the coverage wasn't there. I'm looking for Tank to see how close he was to that. There was no blocking. I think there might be a flag on the play, no? Or we have somebody injured on the play. But, I mean, that play broke down simply because there was no blocking. If they would have had blocking on that side, he gets around, but he had to get around a man that was unblocked, and so the play just blew up.
eXp Realty sideline report. Tank, what are you seeing on the sideline so far?
Yeah, there was very little blocking on that little reverse over here. That there was a player from New Brighton, I couldn't quite get the number, that blew it up and made him actually go back and around, and New Brighton's player came around the corner here and cut him off, and looks like 57 got a little shooken up, and he's heading back to the sideline.
Yeah, Don Pasquale, the 5'9", 160 junior, up under his own power, beginning to jog a little bit to get himself off the field. He'll have to be out for at least one play.
Yeah, defensively, there was a guy unblocked that caused the runner to go back 10 yards. If he's blocked, that play works to perfection, and you're looking at a first down and more. I thought it was well drawn up, but somebody missed an assignment. And those things happen. Again, a young team. You have positive plays that look really good, and then you have a penalty or a play that knocks you back. So that's the problem with this Beaver Falls team. When you're so young, you keep making mistakes. Now they're at 2nd and 20.
Shotgun, 2 wide receivers to the left, and a running back on either side of the quarterback. They then make a shift. Goes to the tailback. So Sean McKelvey has it, gets a couple of blocks inside the 45-yard line, out of bounds around the 43.
Hey,
nice pickup of 6.
You know what? I mean, that's you make somebody miss at the line of scrimmage. That's great when you only have 1st and 10. But when you're 2nd and 20, now you're at 3rd and 14. So you need 2 more of those. See if they can draw something up to get some big yardage here. I don't know if they're in 4-down territory here or not.
Yeah.
Don't forget they already have 1 block punt.
3rd and 14. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. McKelvey has it, hands it off to McKelvey. Jewell had it at the step, and then McKelvey around that right side, able to get down inside the 40-yard line, down around the 37.
That's the same play, but on the other side, and he gets about 7 yards. That should make it about 4th and 7. Where are they going to mark the ball? Yeah, that's 4th and 8, or 7.5, really. So I think they go for it here, and I probably draw something up just similar and try to get him in open space. I don't see them passing. They haven't been very successful passing, except on the flea flicker. They got a lot of room on that left side. They just need somebody to block.
And so they have McKelvey that's set up in the wildcat position. Has it, hands it off, tries to get outside, but that was not going to happen.
Yep.
Bryson Porter-Jones coming in from his linebacker position, read that all the way and tackled him for a loss.
Here's the big problem, Robert, as I see it. I think Beaver Falls has some good athletes. I think they have some tough kids, and they make good plays, but you can't make good plays 3 out of 4 times and then make a mistake. And the mistake is either offsides, too many guys unblocked. That's the second time in the series where someone comes in unblocked and blows up the play. And that's why Beaver Falls hasn't been successful. You have to be an 11-man unit. And when you do that too many times, it kills you.
New Brighton has it, 1st and 10 from their own 40. Keeper. That was Mike Vion in the Wildcat. Gets it out 8 yards to the 48-yard line. And so New Brighton, who had a really decent drive last drive, but it ended in an interception, and now they're trying to figure out, We're at 5:14 in the running clock here in the second quarter. We should be further ahead, they're thinking.
Exactly. And that's a big turnaround there. Beaver Falls moving the ball. A couple of mistakes in that drive. 2 big plays where they didn't block a guy and a penalty. And that could turn this game around, because if New Brighton goes down and scores, they're going to be up by 2 touchdowns at the half.
And this one, once again, Vion with a keeper from the Wildcat gets close to first down yardage.
One
Are they
referee,
going to say to measure this?
One ref is right on the 50. The other one is before the 50. I think they're going to call for a measurement. Well, they're going to say first down, but quickly, Fried Transportation Instant Update Desk from Mr. Frank Salopek, who listens to some folks from Blackhawk. Aliquippa now up 28-0. Tyke Hayes, a 71-yard touchdown reception, his 4th TD of the game. He's back to being healthy. Look out. People told me today, I won't say who, somebody said, I don't think we might not get anybody in Beaver County down to Acrisure this year in the championship. I disagree. I think we have 4 or 5 good choices.
Oh, definitely. Pass over the middle. This one intended for Jojo Montanez and incomplete.
I'll just mention Aliquippa for sure.
Yes.
Beaver, Elwood City, Central Valley, Southside. Those 5 teams right there have a really good shot. Now, all 5 might not get there, but I think we got a good chance to get 2 or 3 for sure.
Yeah.
And Aliquippa, you can't count them out.
Well, Aliquippa, if they get to the championship game, they're playing over in Norway.
Right, and it'll be a week before. Correct, but still, championship game. Someone telling me they won't think that anybody gets there. I think Aliquippa had tough games early, but now they're in conference and they're beating everybody.
Yes. 4 wide receivers wide, running back to the left, back to pass. Corner pattern and complete. Nice one. That one was Jaden Salata to Mike Vion.
Yep, nice play by Vion.
What a pickup.
He was wide open. Wide open by about 3 yards, and a really nice pass. Very nice pass to get the first down.
Salata just dropped it in there. He really did.
I mean, we talk a lot about a lot of things. I think Aliquippa, the only team that's going to beat them is themselves unless they lose to Montour next week. And I just think that a team like Beaver or a team like Central Valley, one of those teams is going to make it for sure.
Salata, Montanez on his hip. Salata looking deep. Has a man wide open and in and out of the hands of Mike Cleckley. Just not able to make that connection. Nobody was covering him.
2 things on that play. All kind of time to throw. All kind of time to throw, number 1. Number 2, there are too many guys that are wide open in the secondary, and that's 3 or 4 times at Beaver Falls. Young guys just aren't on, that they're being fooled. And you got guys wide open like that. That could have easily been a touchdown.
It looks like Harry Kurtzing, the offensive coordinator, along with John Makuga, decided to keep Jaden Salata in for the entire series. Last series was all Jerome King. Salata takes it, keeps it himself. Right up the middle, finds some room, and then stopped once he gets inside the 35-yard line. They're going to call him down right around the 34.
I'll tell you one thing. When Beaver Falls players hit you, these kids are tough. These kids are resilient, and they're bending. Only the 1 touchdown, but they saw an opportunity and 3 guys laid a hit on him.
And apparently they hit him hard enough to where the ball was jarred loose. And they were fortunate to be able to fall on it.
Yeah, 3rd and 8. If I'm New Brighton, I have to pass here. I mean, you could run an end around and fool them here, but they got 4 receivers out wide right, all single coverage.
Salata back to pass, looking, the blitz is coming, screen pass, perfect call, out to the outside, 10-5, touchdown, Josiah Montanez on the reception right over the middle, bounced it outside, able to get that touchdown, no problem at all.
Boy, I tell you what, you talk about drawn up. That was drawn up perfectly. They came at him on the blitz. They almost had him. 4 guys almost had him. But then when he got it, he was wide open. All he had to do was go to the end, and there weren't enough players. It was perfectly drawn up both ways. Defense just missed the quarterback. He just got the ball to Montez and Josiah Montez, you say?
Montanez, yes.
Montanez, and that's 24 yards, and that's a touchdown.
On the season, 100 yards receiving coming into this game, 1 touchdown, all of it on screen passes. They're going for 2, looking for a man in the corner of the end zone, in and out of the hands of the receiver. And so JoJo with the big touchdown. Now it's 12-0 New Brighton over Beaver Falls. 3:19 to go in the second. The kickoff is next on Beaver County Radio.
Some people use a handshake as a punchline. At LGKG, it has a different meaning.
A handshake to me means integrity, trust, and loyalty.
It means that we will do what we say we're going to do.
Our handshake is our bond.
It means when we make you a promise, we're going to keep it.
At LGKG, a handshake still matters.
It's all about New Brighton so far. They're up 12-0 on the Tigers. Tigers making a game of it. They're still looking for their first score. Last week they did pick up a score, went for 2 and got it against Union, losing that game 21-8. The 2 previous games they gave up 20 to Freedom and then 23 to Mohawk, not putting up any points at all in those games. So far as an offense, they're only averaging 4 points per game.
Again, extremely young, mistake prone. Take the mistakes away here tonight. They probably have at least one touchdown. I mean, they're deep in New Brighton territory twice. The one time they have a blocked punt, which leads to New Brighton marching down the field and score. Mm-hmm. Another time, one big penalty knocks them back, and in 2 plays where they leave a linebacker unblocked. You take away those mistakes, they probably are down a touchdown, or they're leading for a while. So, I mean, it's mistakes with young players, and I don't care what anybody says. They do have talent here. They really do.
1st and 10 on their own 48. Run up the middle, and the line just could not hold back the defenders at New Brighton, and in there leading the tackles, Dom Pasquale, number 57. He was hurt earlier, walked off the field under his own power, back in there, big stop for a loss of 2.
Now you get to the point where you're late in the second quarter, you're getting tired, you're getting a little beat down, and those advantages and weight and things start taking over. And there's too many mistakes on the line, too many mistakes by Beaver Falls players that are costing them yardage.
So Sean McKelvey, Kenny Jewell, and Sincere Freeman in the backfield. They now line up so that Sincere can take the direct snap. He gets it, runs over the left side, and once again, penetration. And what do you know? Dom Pasquale again able to tackle him behind the line of scrimmage.
New Brighton knows they're going to run, and New Brighton knows what they're doing now. And New Brighton's set and ready for the run. And unless you can pass on a consistent basis, they're going to line up to stop you with the run, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Joey Kennedy trying to walk off a little bit of a limp there, a little bit of a twist of the ankle or something, but he seems to be okay. And now Beaver Falls, shotgun, back to pass, looking, throws it, and it was deflected at the line of scrimmage. That went on a rush.
Number 58 was one of the guys there. The other one
58, and I can't tell. He's not turning his back.
Yeah.
There he goes.
Braden Dietz was one of the guys there. I don't know if it was him.
And Heath Lewis was the other.
Yes. I mean, the more things go here for New Brighton and Beaver Falls, Tank will help us out with this, but we might get a defender as CCBC player of the game. I mean, there's been a lot of guys playing well on both sides. Mm-hmm. To me, it's going to be a tough pick right now. I don't see anybody really dominating.
Beaver Falls back to punt. They get it away, taken at the 33-yard line, and then ultimately taken down at the 35. Jackson Zahn with the return of a couple of yards.
Well, here we go. Beaver Falls now has 136. They got to play defense enough. They can't give up another TD. They're only down 2 scores. And don't forget, New Brighton missed a kick and missed a 2-point conversion. So 2 touchdowns could win the game, but they have to play pretty good ball to win this game. And right now is a time where they have to stop New Brighton. They can't let them run in and score here with a minute 36 to go.
They're going with 4 wide. Jerron King Jr. is back in a quarterback. He's back to pass, looking down the field. He's going deep, has a man, complete at the 35-yard line, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, New Brighton. That was Mike Cleckley on that route down the sideline. Jerron King threw him a perfect pass. He went up for it, got it, broke a tackle, and went all the way.
Boy, I tell you what. Nice play. He was open. Protection at the line. Pocket didn't break down. Really nice throw. And a better catch and breaking a tackle and getting there. New Brighton now. Boy, that's a dagger. That has to hurt Beaver Falls. Now you're down 3 touchdowns. That hurts a lot. When you were on the verge of going ahead a couple of possessions ago, now you're down 3 touchdowns. That defensive play we saw 5 minutes ago turned this game completely around, I believe.
For those of you watching on the stream, you may have seen the flag on the field. That was for a sideline warning against New Brighton. The play stands, 2-point conversion attempt. Mike Vion around that outside trying to get through. He does. Able to break a tackle. 2-point conversion is good by Mike Vion. And now it's 20-0, 1:23 to go until halftime. Back in 30 seconds on Beaver County Radio.
Make your dream of a college degree a reality at Community College of Beaver County. CCBC offers 10 pathways to success, including health sciences, criminal justice, industrial technology, business, and more. Start at CCBC and finish your career or get transfer ready, all at a realistic cost. Enroll today, ccbc.edu.
Let's get some scores from the Fry Transportation Update Desk. Mike, what do you have?
We've got Aliquippa now up 42-0 with 9:28 to go in the second.
Wow.
Over Blackhawk. They're putting their foot down after some challenges to them. What did you say last week? And I remember anytime anybody has challenged them, they come back and dominate the next game.
New Brighton once again to kick off this one. A bit of a squibbler, gets back to one of the deep men, taking it at the 17-yard line. McKelvey has it around the 40, 45, 50, trying to outrun everybody, but New Brighton had the angle on him. He returns it all the way to the 33-yard line of New Brighton.
You know
That's what they were trying to avoid happening, but somehow the ball got too deep on him.
Yeah. Again, I'll say it again and again and again. I think this Beaver Falls team has some talent. They really do. It's what's cost them in this game is mistakes. We talked about it off the air. If you take away the mistakes, they're likely up for a little bit in this game, and maybe they're only down, say, 13-7 or 13-6. But mistakes have cost them dearly. Here's a chance for them to get a touchdown, but they're going to probably have to pass the ball. They do have one timeout left.
Kenny Jewell. Snap back to him, hands it off to Freeman. Freeman trying to make a man miss, not able to, and taken down. Who was that? Heath Lewis from his linebacker position coming in and tackling him for a loss of what looks like 4.
Yeah, they're not going to win this game just running the ball. They're going to have to pass. They're going to have to do some of the things they did before, and they're just not doing it right now.
Kenny Jewell coming over to Jim Mooney to get the play, going back to the huddle. 43 seconds to go, running clock. 15 seconds on the play clock. Sets up pistol formation. Man in motion. Tosses it out to McKelvey. He slides to try to avoid being tackled and falls on the ground around the 44-yard line. And another big loss for Beaver Falls.
No blocking on the right side. 2 guys just came through. They were waiting for him, and that'll be it for the first half because I don't see them running another play. You know, we talked to Zayshawn McKelvey, quiet kid, good kid, one of the seniors, but nowhere to run, no blocking, nothing he can do, and that's it for the first half.
Coming up on the halftime show, the Al's Pizza halftime show, we'll talk to Tank Latham. He'll be talking to head coach of the New Brighton Lions, John McCouga. We'll look at the front runners for the CCBC player of the game. There was a timeout called with 1.2 seconds left to go.
Interesting. They're going to run another play. Why wait till 1-2? Why not call it with 10 or 11? Interesting. I know you want to run one more play. I get it. Hey, you're down. Let's try something. Maybe it works. But Yeah, man, I tell you, too many plays blowing up. Think about that. That's probably the fourth or fifth play offensively that no one blocked, and New Brighton just came in unabated and made a big play, and that has cost Beaver Falls. I mean, because there have been times they've played and been equal with New Brighton and made some nice runs and had some nice defensive stands, but it's been penalties and mistakes that have cost this team.
1.2 seconds left. What is it that Mooney decided he wanted to call? I just think he just didn't want to go into halftime with that, wanting to maybe go in on a positive note if at all possible. You can see the frustration that he has as he's walking to the sideline. Back to pass, throwing it down deep, and intercepted by New Brighton. Back to the 30, cutting across the middle, looking for some room, trying to find a block. Able to get to no more than the 30. He's dialed reversing field and then taken down. That interception by Gage Kovac, the 5'9", 140 senior to end the half.
I don't know if we can get a replay on that, but man, he was double covered and he was pushed out of the way and never had a chance to get it. And I really think you got to call the plays, but if you watch this, no, he had no chance to catch the ball. They didn't give him a chance. They pushed him completely out of the way. And hey, I know it's 20-0, but you got to throw the flag there just for flag's sake. You don't want, as a referee, just to have a bad play on you. They just pushed him completely out of the way. So
Al's Pizza halftime show right now. Tank Latham is on the sideline with Coach John McCouga.
All right, Coach. You guys got me up there? You hear me?
Yes.
All right. Hey, I'm right here with Coach McCouga right here. Coach, you've got your boys playing really good on here. It's a little bit of a slow start. Can you explain the adjustments you guys made?
Yeah, we wanted to run the ball, and that's what we've been able to do so far, be able to get the ball in the air a little bit. Our defense is playing lights out right now, so we're really relying on them.
There's some heavy hitting going on out there. Any injuries we got going on there?
No, we're healthy. Guys are all moving around well, so we're good.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. Go get them.
Thank you very much, Tank. To appreciate that, Coach McCouga now he probably has a good 500 yards he has to run to be able to get back to where his kids will be taking their halftime break. And we will be taking ours as well. Coming up in the Al's Pizza halftime show from the McGee Heating and Air Conditioning broadcast booth, we'll be talking with the athletic director of Beaver Falls coming up in just a moment. Also, the latest scores from the Fried Transportation Update Desk. We'll also get a recap of the first half and see how the development is going for the CCBC players of the game. It's all coming up on Beaver County Radio.
Let Hallowed Grounds Coffee Roastery of New Brighton help you start each day with a winning cup. Taste the thrill of victory in every sip of Hallowed Grounds heavenly roasted coffee. Brew up a win when you shop small and support a local business. Help Hallowed Grounds celebrate the home team spirit and get into the zone by clicking on hallowedgrounds.com. Or score big when you stop in person at Hallowed Grounds Coffee Roastery in New Brighton. Brew, sip, and celebrate.
In order to call the right play, you have to be able to communicate. Dental hygiene not only affects appearance and eating habits, it can also have an impact on your ability to speak clearly. Dr. C. Timothy Lip wants you to keep your teeth in the game, and he has a playbook designed for success so that you can call the right play or even call an audible. Get suited up for a win or at least a winning smile by joining Dr. C. Timothy Lip's team in Beaver Falls or Robinson Township. Visit lipdentistry.com.
Back to school season means back to your credit union season. Before you pack the lunchbox, be sure and pack your wallet. Visit Friendly Federal Credit Union and get the cash supply you'll need so that you can buy the school supplies that they will need. This is Cindy Hiladio. Stop into the principal's office and see me to sign up for an easy-to-manage personal signature loan. They're now available from $500 to $10,000 with approved credit. Friendly Federal Credit Union, member NCUA, equal housing lender.
Falling in love is one thing. Having anxiety about falling is a whole different subject. If you or a family member are concerned about falling, and yes, either up or down the stairs, or maybe even out of bed, St. Barnabas has a special message and some ideas just for you. Years of experience in working with people who are prone to falls has given St. Barnabas special expertise in this area. Call them at 724-443-0700 and learn about ways that you can begin to feel more confident and safe, including including suggestions that you can implement right now into your daily routine. Call St. Barnabas at 724-443-0700. For many years now, St. Barnabas has been helping people fall in love, that is, with their new, better life, a longer life, a risk-free life. Call St. Barnabas now at 724-443-0700 or visit stbarnabashealthsystem.com and learn more about living longer and better.
Hey, this is Olivia, Al's daughter. Al's Pizza next to Fisher's Beverage in New Brighton is open. Yes, the owner of the food truck whose pizza you enjoy has a storefront in New Brighton next to Fisher's Beverage. Al's Pizza is open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Al's Pizza also has hoagies, calzones, pepperoni rolls, and gluten-free options. If you like pickles, you will love their pickle pizza. Yes, I said pickle pizza. So stop out and see Al next to Fisher's Beverage in New Brighton for pizza this football season.
You're listening to 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas, in addition to 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls.
$20-0. New Brighton over Beaver Falls. We are now joined by Mr. Carbone. He is the athletic director here at Beaver Falls, and we were just talking a moment ago. Athletics is obviously really huge to the kids today. They want to be able to have as many options as they possibly can. You offer a lot of sports here at Beaver Falls, but then you also have some cooperative relationships with other schools, helping other schools involve their kids in athletics, and then your kids to be able to go to other schools and partner up with. Explain some of that.
Well, first of all, Bob, thank you for having me tonight. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for covering our game tonight with New Brighton. So to answer your question, so we do have some cooperative sponsorships with other school districts. And the purpose of those is whenever you're a smaller district, like a 2A district, it's nice to be able to join with a similar school of your size. That way you're creating opportunities for them to compete in other sports. For example, we have a cooperative sponsorship with New Brighton in the sport of swimming. It's actually our program, and we give New Brighton an opportunity to send their kids over to us to participate on our team.
That's nice.
Last year, we were able to get into one with Elwood City in the sport of wrestling. So we do have some student athletes that go to Elwood and wrestle. In fact, we have a pretty good one that goes over there, and he's done quite well in the individual and the state rounds last year. So looking for big things from him. His name is Gabe Lilly, and we're hoping that he has a great season again.
But what was the genesis of this? Where did the idea come from, and what made you think this was important to be a part of helping other kids from other schools and then partnering up with a school like Elwood City?
Well, with the two that we have now, a lot of it had to do with New Brighton. They wanted to give their kids an opportunity to swim, but they didn't have they do have a pool, but they didn't have a competitive program. So that's why we were able to afford to bring them on. And the nice thing about it was we didn't have to change classifications, because when you do a cooperative sponsorship, it does affect your enrollment, the numbers that you submit to the PIAA, which will alter the classification of your team in that particular sport. Same with Elwood City. With the wrestling opportunity, we do have some kids that wanted to wrestle. They knew one of our kids because he was an independent wrestler, because of the individual component of that sport, part of that sport. Same with swimming, because swimming also has an individual component to it as well. But it's nice to be able to incorporate that. One thing that I am looking into is trying to get our kids an opportunity to play the sport of soccer, because soccer is a growing sport. And also I'm looking at Elwood City, and even we might even look at Blackhawk for that. But we'll see where that takes us. Nothing's etched in stone at this point, but we are exploring the idea.
Yes. To what extent does athletics help in motivating young people to be more devoted to their academics?
I believe athletics is so vital and so important to our youth. And I always say to our kids, we have an 8-period day during the school day, and period 9 is athletics. So when that bell rings at the end of the day, you're off to whatever respective sport that you're playing. And I think it's so vital and so important to keep them involved in something as productive as being part of a team, and also getting that necessary activity that's important to them, especially with the exercise component of it. And obviously the competitive side of things, that's also important. It's also part of education. It's part of life that you have to work and you have to strive to aim to be successful, and athletics certainly gives that avenue to these kids.
Jim, so many questions for you, but a couple things. First is, this is a really nice crowd, and it's a big game for the community. And even though the football team is down this year, you're still getting some support. Tell the people listening how important it is. Football brings communities together. You've seen it for years. You've had championship football programs, basketball programs, and sports down a tiny bit right now with you guys, but it's still important for the community to support your school.
Well, to answer that question, Mike, one of the things that we do struggle, and I alluded to, when you're at a school with a 2A enrollment, sometimes you might run into a class or two where there might not be a lot of kids that want to play, especially with the sport that football is. Football being a tougher game than maybe some of the other sports, not taking anything away from some of the other sports, but which
you don't get hit when you're playing golf.
No, you do not get hit when you're playing golf.
And that happens.
And it does happen,
it does.
And we're going through that a little bit. But at the same time, I'm just as proud as this team as I've been with some of the other ones that we've had.
I think
our
they're
kids
working
play
hard.
They work hard. It's a young group. We're just not old enough yet.
And you have
one
a
of these
coach
days,
that's really going to stick with it and work with them.
Yes, absolutely.
Another question about the co-op agreements. I've seen them in the past. Some schools don't want to because, Blackhawk and Beaver Falls don't get along. Rochester and Freedom don't get along. Quaker Valley Amherst don't get along. I mean, it just seems like these rivalries and people in the administrations don't want to let it happen, but it makes common sense to do. Down the line, you see enrollments going down. You see teams going down. Do you see a future of a lot of schools combining and doing co-ops? Because I see that as a future.
I think that's a very valid point, and I do see that happening. I think one of the things that maybe prevents some schools, especially like the rival schools, is take, for example, like I have talked with Blackhawk about the possibilities of soccer, but one of the things that I think is tough when you have strictly a team sport like a football or a basketball or a soccer is whenever you do get into a sponsorship like that, it does run the risk of that host school, their kids could take a back seat to the kids coming into the program that could possibly take a starting position away from.
But that worked at Central Valley when Center and Monaco went together. That worked, and it was the kids that made it happen according to all of them. So if the future dictates that you have to combine with another school.
In order to
because that's going to happen eventually. Some of these schools will combine if enrollments keep going down. New Brighton had 1,000 kids there 20 years ago. Now it's 400.
Exactly.
Eventually it's going to happen.
It's going to have to go in that direction. And ironically, the two sports that we do have cooperative sponsorships in now with New Brighton with swimming and Elwood City with wrestling, there is that individual component to those sports where it is just a one-on-one certain type of atmosphere for those kids to compete, and that doesn't take a starting position away from another athlete at the host school. So
I'm imagining there are a couple of sports programs that would be really difficult to do that with.
There's
football is one of those ones. I have a hard time believing that Beaver Falls would ever say, "Okay, we can't field our own team."
Right.
Even if we go to 1A, we're playing football.
We're gonna play football. Yes. Yeah, definitely. We're gonna play. No doubt about it.
It'll be soccer, golf, swimming, wrestling. That's a good idea for those.
Correct.
And you just have to have the kids because those take individual efforts for the kids, and then good idea.
Yes, exactly.
Talk to the parents who are listening right now that don't have their kids involved in sports. You have a moment to explain to them why it's so important for them to figure out what sport their kids are really into and to encourage them to participate at the school level.
It is, like I was saying, it's just so vital for our students to become student athletes because they gain so much from that. They gain the teamwork. You gain confidence from being part of a team because you're out there practicing your work and you can see the progress that you're making on a daily basis. And I think those things are so important and so vital, and they pay dividends down the road whenever you enter the workforce or when you go to college and you get that opportunity to meet other people and to grow as individuals. So the athletic program is so vital to education today.
And I'm thinking of one more thing, maybe the most glaring example here in Beaver Falls. The role that a coach can play ultimately in a young person's life. We think about what mom means to them, what dad means to them, But when you have somebody like we were doing this show at the Coach's Corner on Wednesday, the Larry Bruno Foundation, and what Larry Bruno meant to Joe Namath, that all the way to the point that he's going into the Hall of Fame, and he just says, I want him to give me a speech. That's what your kid could have as a role model that will be a positive impact for the rest of their life.
No question about it. And with that vitalness of student athletes being involved, it is so important to have quality coaches.
Yes.
And that's also a challenge these days, but I'm grateful for what we have at Beaver Falls, and they're great role models. And I always tell our coaches, and this was even like you alluded to, like we've had some great runs in basketball.
Right.
We've had them in football. And maybe from a wins and losses standpoint, this year's not a great year. But at the same time, these kids will look back. They know that their coaches care about them. And the wins and losses come and go, but that part never does. And that's why it's so important.
I'm glad he asked that question, because that's something, a new football coach, basketball, you've had a couple different coaches over the last few years, a lot of younger blood coming in. And as an athletic director, sometimes it seems easier because you have a lot of long-time coaches, and now you have new blood. How does that change things as an athletic director to have to bring new blood in and new guys in and get used to the Beaver Falls way of doing things? A lot of them are Beaver Falls guys, no doubt.
A lot of our guys are Beaver Falls guys. Unfortunately, like Coach Mooney's not from Beaver Falls, but he's been on our coaching staff the last few years, which has been such a positive, because he's a very good football coach, and he's been a great man in our position right now. And he knows we have a young team, and he knew that coming in. But we're getting better each week.
And basketball's changing as well, too.
Basketball's changing with Ramon Shepard, who's done a nice job. Dom Henderson, who's been in our program as our girls coach, who's put together a nice run. So, no, we're grateful for that and thankful.
Yeah, we want to talk about the future a little bit. I mean, girls basketball had a really nice run last year. Didn't lose a lot of people. So I would imagine coming into the winter sports, a lot of people are going to be looking forward to the girls basketball team.
Absolutely, and we're looking for good things from our girls program again this year. So looking forward to that, and it's just we have a good future, and our junior high programs are doing well. Junior high football's having a great season, and our junior high girls basketball's having a great year. So we'll be back, no doubt.
Sam Carbone, Athletic Director of Beaver Falls, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you, Mike. And
thanks, Jim. Good to see you again.
Appreciate your coverage and your support of high school athletics.
Thanks for always being so gracious with us here.
And thank you again.
No problem.
Thank you.
More of the Al's Pizza Halftime Show in a moment on Beaver County Radio.
Can you believe fall is already here? This is Diane Ireland of Ireland Contracting. Improve your home energy efficiency and curb appeal with Ireland Contracting. Get new windows, siding, and roofing professionally installed by one of the top contractors in the Pittsburgh area. We specialize in premium siding, Owens Corning shingles, Pella windows, and more. Save your money for the holidays and use 12 months same as cash financing. Call 1-800-NEW-ROOF or visit IrelandContracting.com.
In order to call the right play, you have to be able to communicate. Dental hygiene not only affects appearance and eating habits, it can also have an impact on your ability to speak clearly. Dr. C. Timothy Lip wants you to keep your teeth in the game, and he has a playbook designed for success so that you can call the right play or even call an audible. Get suited up for a win, or at least a winning smile, by joining Dr. C. Timothy Lip's team in Beaver Falls or Robinson Township. Visit lipdentistry.com.
Did you know that if you have the ability to listen to the radio, you have the ability to dig a ditch? It's true. By renting the right equipment from D&G Rentals in Beaver Falls, you can turn big projects into simple ones. So if you can master your cell phone, you can probably build a new patio or pour a new sidewalk. You already have the know-how, you just don't have the right tools. And that's where D&G Rentals comes in. Visit dgrent.com. So remember, if you can change the channel, you can probably change a transmission with a little help from D&G Rentals.
J. Young Refuse in Industry is proud to be an integral part of Beaver County for the past 34 years. Featuring a wide range of recycling services for contracted areas, they are sure to help you get the job done. The J. Young Refuse team of professional drivers consistently exceed safety and service throughout the day, while their customer service representatives take professionalism to the next level. Call them today at 724-495-6199 with any questions you may have.
You're listening to 2024 high school football coverage on Beaver County Radio from the McGee Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. Tonight's game is being brought to you in part by Falcone's Moon Township Ford, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, the Community College of Beaver County, Fisher's New Brighton Foodland, Al's Pizza in New Brighton, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Tri-State Sporting Arms, Drug-Free Aliquippa, McGee Heating and Cooling, LGKG, the St. Barnabas Health System, and Beaver County Radio.
The Al's Pizza halftime show continues from the McGee Heating and Air Conditioning broadcast booth. And I want to apologize to Jim Carbone for calling him Sam. But here, I have a good excuse. I have the perfect excuse for this.
You really want to bring this up on the air?
When I was living in Newcastle still, I had a hairstylist, and his name is Sam Carbone, Carbone's Hair Salon. So that's why I had to have a hairstylist.
I have somebody cut my hair. You have a stylist.
Stylist, yes.
Well, when you're in a boy band.
Well, when you go with the one name thing, you're always needing to represent. So I apologize to Jim for calling him Sam. It was very embarrassing.
Sorry,
but I hope that Sam Carbone appreciates me remembering him.
Giving him free advertising.
It's been a while since I've spoken to him. Anyway. Let's look at scores from around the Beaver Valley at the Fry Transportation Update Desk. Here's what we have so far. Are you ready, Michael?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go.
Always ready.
And they're loading up Hopewell and Freeport. They're already in the fourth quarter.
Quick game.
Games knotted up at 0.
Wow. How
Elwood
about that?
City and Riverside at half, 7-6 Elwood over Riverside.
Wow, rivalry game. Riverside hanging with them.
Steel Valley crushing Olsh 42-7.
Yeah, Olsh not their year. They probably won't make the playoffs.
Southside and Neshannock. Southside's up 13-7.
Interesting. That's a big game for Southside. That's for playoff seeding in first place.
Bobcats and the Trojans are at halftime. Beaver is up on North Catholic 14-3.
That's real good. That'll probably solidify a playoff berth for them.
Central Valley all over Quaker Valley, 45-6 at the half.
We expected that.
And Aliquippa, you mentioned this earlier, 42-0 over Blackhawk. They've not reached halftime
Well,
yet.
here's the thing. You remember, and Bruce Fry knows this, I know, every time Aliquippa's challenged. Last week they were challenged by West Allegheny. Every year they're challenged by someone like that. The next week they just punish somebody.
And it was West Allegheny last year.
Every year it seems like.
People were beginning to think, oh my goodness, West Allegheny, they had to come from behind to win that game.
Last year, the year
Maybe
before,
they're not going to be good.
Every year it seems like that's the game.
Yes, and then other scores. Cornell on top of Rochester, 26-14.
Okay.
That's still in the second. Moon and Baldwin, 36-6. Moon frustrated over the past 2 weeks where they were playing top-tier talent in the 5A and close, really competitive.
They need this game. They have to win this game to have a chance in the playoffs. Have to win this game.
Montour, 40-0 over Ambridge.
Yeah, boy, Ambridge. I think that loss last week took a lot of life out of them. They won't make the playoffs this year.
Next week's game.
Yes.
We have on the schedule Montour and Aliquippa at Montour.
That's big. I mean, because Quip's going to come in a couple games, win in a row. Montour's been in first place almost all year long by a half game because Quip had some games delayed by lightning and not played. That's going to be a big, big game we're going to be at. Lucero's got his team in the championship form again. And Quip, with Pikey Hayes, they're on rolling it right now. So that should be a really good game next week.
Scores from the Fry Transportation Update Desk. Don't forget, coming up after the game, there is the Falcone's Moon Township Ford wrap-up show hosted by Bruce Fry, where he'll give you a wrap-up of all of the scores, finals from all over the Beaver Valley, analysis of some games, and, of course, your phone calls. Wherever you're listening right now, if you're at a game, please make it a point to tune in and call in for the Falcone's Moon Township Ford wrap-up show hosted by none other than Bruce Fry. We will have the second half kickoff coming up in just a couple of minutes on Beaver County Radio.
No matter what the circumstances, no matter the reason, one of the few things that is left when a loved one passes on are the memories. Staging those memories in an honoring way is one of the reasons so many people have chosen J&J Spratt Funeral Home. A person's legacy depends on a lifetime of accomplishments and then how they are remembered. J&J Spratt Funeral Home has helped start the process of creating positive legacies for over 70 years. Visit jjsprattfh.com. Joseph M. Spratt, Supervisor and Funeral Director.
Looking for that special home or wanting to sell yours? Let the Lisa Latham team, brokered by eXp Realty, help you. Hi, I'm Tank Latham, and our goal is to make you feel comfortable whether buying or selling. Lisa and I strive to make the process as smooth and as easy as possible. We invite you to visit the all-new eXp office located at 926 3rd Avenue, New Brighton. Give us a call at 724-307-5472. Check out Beaver County home inventory on our website, lisalatham.com. The Lisa Latham team, results that move you.
And the second half kickoff is ready to take place. Beaver Falls will be kicking off to New Brighton. If you're listening on the radio or on the St. Barnabas app, they are kicking off left to right. Beaver Falls in all black with the white helmets, and New Brighton all white uniforms, tops and pants, and the crimson helmets. And they'll be kicking off here in a moment. Let's go to Tank Latham on the sideline, eXp Realty Sideline Report. Tank, sometimes body language can say it all. What does Mooney's body language tell you?
Focused. He's definitely focused on making sure they just build on little victories. I talked with him real quickly, and he said, honestly, there's some bright spots in there, but they keep shooting themselves in the foot.
Yes.
It's exactly what he was saying. Focus on us. At the beginning of the game, he's still preaching that. It's exactly what he told the guys in the AFIT locker room. So hopefully they build on it and start winning those little victories.
Thank you very much. Jojo Montanez on the return, able to get the ball out to the 40, but he is down on the field, and the trainers are in position as though he is dealing with the cramp at this point, which is good news. Recap of the first half.
Yeah, Heath Lewis with his touchdown, 1-yarder. New Brighton on their first possession made it 6-0. After their second possession, they threw an interception, and then they came back after a blocked punt. Well, the blocked punt was the first one. A 24-yard reception by Jojo Montanez made it 12-0. They missed a kick on the first touchdown, missed a 2-point conversion on the second, and then they scored toward the end of the half with a 65-yard touchdown reception by Mike Cleckley. Mike Vion had a 2-point conversion to make it 20-0. Beaver Falls, as Tank alluded to, and we talked about, too many mistakes, too many penalties that killed drives. I mean, there was a point in this game where it was 6-0. They were driving. Robert, Tank, I think they both know they could have had a lead in this game, but mistakes cost them. Now they're down 3 touchdowns. Young team making errors.
And New Brighton now set up. There you are in the shotgun formation. 3 wide receivers wide to the right. Ball set up right in the middle of the field. So a lot of back to pass, looking for a man, and it looked as though it was blocked as soon as he was letting it go.
I think so. There's no indication of a turnover. I think the pass was blocked. It took a long time to block it. The referees are going to get together and talk, it looks like. No, but that should be an incomplete pass. No! They're going to say he dropped the ball. That's Beaver Falls' ball.
Yes, that's what they're calling. First down, Beaver Falls. Can we get an instant replay on this one?
And Tank, we may come to you with this one too.
Because it looked as though his hand was going forward, but his hand may have been empty.
Exactly. Maybe they hit his arm. From here, we couldn't tell. See if we can. I'm going to go Tank.
Makuga is wanting to talk to the official and wants an explanation on this one, and the official goes over so far, and that's about as far as he's willing to go. And now it's Beaver Falls 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line.
That's their first fumble, but second turnover. It probably hit his arm. It had to be, because it didn't seem like the ball was in the air at all. And now we got whistles. Timeout. Maybe we can get something from Tank.
Timeout from New Brighton. Tank, what did you see?
I saw Jacob Jessman come in there, and he definitely is exactly what he did. He hit his wrist, the ball came out, and honestly, Jacob didn't even know. He didn't even get down on the ball. He just casually picked it up and tried handing it back to the referee. So he honestly could have picked that ball up and went in the end zone if he wanted to.
Wow, that's good. I mean, we didn't see the ball in the air, Robert. It didn't look. He drew back, so either he lost it or it got hit out of his hand. But that's a big break for Beaver Falls now. I mean, I know they're down 3 touchdowns, but here's a situation where you just made a big play. It's the second turnover for New Brighton. You got to make them pay. A young team, but this would really, really benefit them if they can go in there and score here, play some defense. You got a long way to go. It's early in the second half.
All right, so New Brighton trying to collect themselves. Mukuga not quite sure what just happened to he and his team because everybody acted as though it was really an incomplete pass, including, as Tank just said, Jacob Jesseman.
From up here, I never saw it in the air. That's why I kept thinking.
Snap back. Sincere Freeman has it over the left side, finds some room, sprints down the field all the way down inside the 5-yard line.
Wow. That's a big play for Beaver Falls. That might be their biggest play of the game. Wide open hole, and he just took advantage.
Terrence Banks on that left side, 6'1", 254, able to seal the edge and left great running room for Sincere Freeman to be able to sprint down that left side. So now it's 1st and goal at the 5.
They have to score on this drive.
McKelvey and Freeman in the backfield. Snap to Freeman. Hand off to McKelvey. Spins. Tries to make a move. Inside the 5. Down to around the 3-yard line.
Not bad for first down. Get a couple of yards. It's all you need. A couple here, a couple there. But running up the middle on them is going to be tough. They're going to have to sweep to the outside, I think. You're going to want to see, likely, the way I'm thinking here, for Beaver Falls. Let's get my notes. Yeah, I think Sean McKelvey's a guy you want to get to the outside and use his speed.
Yeah, McKelvey last week, 27 touches for 100 yards and their lone touchdown. He has been a key offensive weapon for them tonight. He is in the Wildcat. And Derek Beck behind him. McKelvey decides to keep it, try to find that pylon. So close to it, and the officials are saying, no, he is out inside the 1.
You know, I always wonder why when you're on the left hash mark and you go left, when you have all that room on the right side. But they drew the play up, and he almost got there. 2 plays to make a touchdown here.
Looked like Bryson Porter-Jones from his outside linebacker position laid the wood on him because he was going to make the pylon. But that defensive outside linebacker able to stop him just short.
I got a feel. I think they're going to try to run up the middle, but I think use speed to the outside.
McKelvey, Wildcat. 2 running backs to his right. Hits the hole. Touchdown, Beaver Falls. So Sean McKelvey gets a touchdown last week. He gets a touchdown this week and gets it within 14.
And I tell you what, he has played well, and that gives them life. You never know when you make a mistake and give a young team a chance. Now, you can see the sideline is up. You saw them jump when they got the turnover. They score. That's a big TD for them. Now, if they can play some defense and get the ball back, you've got life. They're going to go for 2.
Wide receivers split, running backs in the backfield. McKelvey trying to find some room, dodging and weaving, and converts for 2 over that left tackle. Terrence Banks one more time, critical in making that happen, blocks his man, and now Beaver Falls, they match their score from last week when they lost to Union. It was 21-8 the final. Now it's 20-8 New Brighton.
Now 2 touchdowns with no extra points would tie the game. So if they get 2 touchdowns and 1 extra point or 1 2-point conversion, they'll win the game. But they got to play some defense coming up.
Well, whatever Mooney said at halftime, he got their attention because Jesseman came out, had a big turnover against the quarterback Salata.
And these are all the guys we talked to Wednesday, all their leaders, Jesseman, McKelvey, and how about the big run by Freeman as well? After the first play after a turnover is key. The other team lets down a little bit, and boom, you get 15, 20 yards on a run. That's important, and this is important for this Beaver Falls team. And to get these kids ready. Now they just have to play some defense. You can't let up against this team. From here, I can see coaches are coaching them. They're keeping the kids excited.
And now Beaver Falls set the kickoff. 10:38 to go in the third quarter. Down by 12. Beaver Falls insisting on making a game of this. New Brighton, deep man is set at the 20-yard line. Kick is away. It is short. Bounces and picked up at the 25 and then fallen on right there at the 29-yard line. Not able to get any kind of a return. Mike Vion, not much of a choice, but they just fall on.
I tell you one thing. I mean, if anybody from Beaver Falls is even remotely close, that could be a turnover. Boy, you can't muff something like that. That's a senior. Can't make mistakes like that. That'll completely turn this game around. So right now, if you're Beaver Falls, what are you thinking? Grab at the ball. Try to get a turnover. Get some pressure. Fight hard. And if you can do that, they're going to get a timeout, it looks like, by one.
Well, it looks as though there was a penalty.
Again. They're going to kick again.
Against Beaver Falls, the referee signaling offsides. And so now New Brighton and Mike Vion deep is going to have a second chance. Vion is set deep. Also with Vion is Mike Cleckley.
I don't know if I'd kick deep to these guys. Don't know. I'd do the muff kick like New Brighton's been doing to them. I don't know if I'd kick deep to them.
Antonio Frederick is the kicker. Ball's at the 35 now. And he goes straight on with his kicks. He's lining up, gets everybody set. And the kick is away. No flag. Taken by Vion at the 33. Makes a man miss. 40-45. Out near midfield, close to the 50-yard line. Big field position move off that 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, see, I would have done the squib kick and given him the ball at the 35 to 40. And you get right back to him, and he gets it all the way up to midfield. So good field position now for New Brighton. And now they struck at the end of the half. Here's their chance to go back and say, hey, look, we're in control of this game. Big moment in this game, I believe. New Brighton takes time, drives, and scores. That puts another nail in the coffin for Beaver Falls. But if Beaver Falls can make a big defensive play, they get the ball back. You got to play some tough defense here if you're Beaver Falls, if you want to try to keep in this game.
Jerron King, the freshman, is in at quarterback. He and Jaden Salata, the senior, have pretty much bounced back and forth between possessions. He is a running back on his right hip, man in motion, and a false start by New Brighton.
Couple of flags. It was an obvious one.
And so that'll back them up 5 yards to the 44. They have to get to the 41 of Beaver Falls for a first down.
Little mistakes like this, little mistakes can cost you, and this is an important part of the game right here. It's early in the second half, but it's an important part of the game.
It's interesting. Mike Cleckley is the wide receiver, one of the starters for New Brighton, and Jakari Cleckley is the defensive coordinator for Beaver Falls. Handoff. Mike Vion looking for some room, finds his seam and gets it out over midfield down to around the 47-yard line.
He's going to get about 8 yards. That's a nice play and a little bit of misdirection. You send one wide receiver one way and you send another way, and bingo, he picks up some nice yardage on first down after the penalty. You looking for a roster? I'll help you out, buddy. What do you need?
I was looking for the New Brighton one. So it's second down now at the 47-yard line. Ball on the far hash mark. The Lions set up in a shotgun. 2 wide receivers on each side. Man in motion. Vion sails the block on the left side and the handoff up the middle. And he gets inside the 45, close to the 43, needing just 2 yards on this third down.
Well, again, they're not bringing him down with first contact. I mean, they got hit. But, man, I tell you, I'm really impressed by the way Beaver Falls is fighting. Still fighting. I mean, and a big third down coming up. There's a situation where if you can hold them here, New Brighton go for it on fourth down here. I don't think it would be smart for them. It'd be better for them to punt the ball if they don't make it, because you can pin Beaver Falls back.
Beaver Falls needing a big stop here. 9 minutes to go in the third quarter, running clock. Spread formation, and King is in the shotgun. Man on his hip, man in motion now. Hands off on a sweep. Not a place to go. Beaver Falls able to sniff it out, but he insists on fighting hard and gets close to first down yardage. He was going to be tackled for a loss, but figured out a way of being able to dodge and weave his way beyond the line of scrimmage.
They gave him a yard, so it'll be 4th and 1. As a coach, I'd pump this away and pin Beaver Falls and have my defense try to hold a 2-touchdown lead. Some coaches think, hey, I'm going to go for it here and continue this drive, and it looks like they're going to go for it, which, a lot of coaches believe that. hey, you got 4 downs. You got one chance to get 1 yard, but they're going to go for it here. I'm surprised.
Harry Girding, the offensive coordinator, and John McCouga saying they're going for it. Shotgun, 3 wide receivers to the left. Man in motion, comes back, gets the handoff, swings around the outside, finds the corner, and knocked out of bounds right around the 40-yard line.
He's going to get it.
Looks as though he has it.
I tell you what, good blocking by New Brighton to get him there. 2 guys took out 2 guys on their side and prevented 2 linebackers from coming at him. So very good blocking to draw that up. Some people I hear in the box saying that could be holding, but that's a first down in my opinion. And that all came because of they're going to call holding.
Yes, there is a holding call.
And see, you know what?
And they're
I didn't
backing
see
them
the
up
flag.
10.
I didn't see the flag, but you know what? When you're blocking someone, you got to give them a chance. But if you held on to them and it causes a play, so good call by the refs. I thought it might have been a hold, but you know what? Now they're going to have to punt. So blocking turned to holding.
Caden Poblinch will be coming in
to
kick this away. No, I'm sorry. Bryson Porter-Jones. Caden is the kicker. Bryson Porter-Jones is the punter. He's back, and to return this is Rashawn McKelvey. He had a big return on a kick, and now it's up and away and near no one, and takes a New Brighton bounce all the way down close to the 10, inside the 10, near the 9-yard line. So Beaver Falls having 91 yards to go in order to get their next touchdown.
Smart to not kick it to Zayshawn McKelvey. They know he's one of the best athletes on the team. They know what he's done so far in this game. They know what he did last week and the week before. And let's not kick it to their best player. Smart coaching, kick it away from him. And that's something that we hear stories about, and coaches sometimes don't think that way, and kids don't think that way, but listen to the coach there. Kick it out of bounds. Now Beaver Falls has to go a long way. So now, yes, Beaver Falls stopped them, but now it's up to them to move the ball. Let's see what they can do.
McKelvey coming in from the sideline and talking to Mooney. He has the play. He's in the Wildcat. Sincere Freeman is in the running back position behind him. Wide receivers 2 and 2 far each way. Takes the snap, hands it off. Freeman over that left side, finds some room, splits the seam out to the 35, to the 40, and taken down finally at the 44-yard line. Big pickup by Sincere Freeman from the 9 out to the 44.
2 times in the last 2 drives, he got the first play and got big plays. Boy, I tell you what, man, that is amazing. That is a big, big play, Mr. Mangino. That is huge to get out from the shadow of your goal line, and now you're almost at midfield. So even if you have to punt, you'll back New Brighton up. Well, that's a big play. Big stomp on defense, and now they're moving the ball.
They're setting them up at the 45, first and 10 at the 45. And once again, McKelvey is in the Wildcat. Tailback behind him, hands it off over that right side, up the middle now. Gets to about the 48, maybe the 49-yard line. Pickup of 4 yards on that play by Derek Beck, the 5'3", 125-pound sophomore.
I'm telling you what, I'm having as broadcasters, we like every team we cover, but I really like what this Beaver Falls team is doing. They got a lot of guts.
Snap back, McKelvey calls his own number, tries to get to midfield and doesn't. No gain on that play. They're going to call it that he didn't break the 49, so they're going to now have it 3rd and 6 for Beaver Falls.
Yeah, you got to use your speed to the outside. Got to use that speed to the outside. Freeman's gotten some big plays. I expect to see him or McKelvey get it. I was going to say at halftime, I picked Freeman as a guy to watch. McKelvey kind of is leading my way for CCBC Player of the Game, but Freeman's creeping up there again. On the other side, the one guy I'm really, really watching, I know the Tank likes him too, Heath Lewis.
Yeah, Heath Lewis has been very good, both sides of the ball. Snap back, McKelvey has it. Running over that left side, looking for some room. No room to be found. And a flag is on the play at the 45 on the far side of the field.
Is that a late hit? That could be a first down if it's against New Brighton. Because they're 5 yards away.
New Brighton players slow to get up.
What's that going to be?
Players slow to get up is JoJo Montanez.
I don't see any indication.
He is walking off under his own power, though.
It looks like they're going to, wait a minute. I see an official with the ball.
They're going to decline the illegal procedure penalty and take the play. It now sets up a 4th and 5 at the 50. They have to get to the 45 of New Brighton.
There's timeout.
Timeout, Beaver Falls. They're going to talk about it, and we'll come back and find out what they decide in 30 seconds on Beaver County Radio.
There's exciting news. A new pharmacy in New Brighton just opened, Forward RX. It's an independent community pharmacy that fills prescriptions at transparent cost-plus pricing on many generic medications. No insurance or discount coupons needed. Brandon Anthonopoulos will discuss your needs and how Forward RX can help you save money. The pharmacy experience you deserve is more affordable than you think. Become a Forward member today. Stop in 809 3rd Avenue, New Brighton, or check their prices at FWDRX.com.
Fourth and 5 at midfield. Will they go for it at Beaver Falls? So Sean McKelvey has been playing quarterback quite a bit this second half, but he is set deep, about 14 yards back in punting position. Mike Vion is at the 25 to return the punt. Kick is away, and Vion lets it bounce, and it rolls all the way inside the 10, and Beaver Falls falls on it on the 8-yard line.
My question is, why is Mike Vion running near the ball? If that ball takes a bad bounce and hits him, Beaver Falls can recover. You got to get away from that.
Yeah, as soon as you decide that you're going to let it bounce,
you got to walk away.
Run away fast.
I mean, he's right by the ball. That ball takes one bad bounce and hits him in the leg. Very, very interesting defense now. Now Beaver Falls has to try to pin them. There's a punt by Beaver Falls. Gives the ball back to New Brighton. It'll be the third time of the quarter. Remember, the first half, New Brighton had the ball 4 times, Beaver Falls 5 times. Turnovers are 2-1, New Brighton.
Tank Latham on the sideline, EXP Realty Sideline Report. Tank, how is the Beaver Falls bench responding to these last couple of series?
But this sideline comes up for sure. Right at the beginning of the half, the offensive line coach had a heart-to-heart with all his linemen.
Hold on 1 second. We just got Beaver Falls on a touchdown. And I'm not even sure if I actually saw this thing clearly. They ran a sweep around the outside. Ball hit the ground. Fumble recovery by Beaver Falls in the end zone. Let's go ahead and can we see this instant replay?
I'm not sure who
we're going to watch it right now. If you're watching on Facebook and YouTube, a toss out to the right. The running back, Heath, wasn't looking for it. Falls on the ground and recovered in the end zone by Beaver Falls. Heath Lewis wasn't ready for it. It falls on the ground, recovered in the end zone, and now the Tigers down by just 6.
Does anybody know who recovered that?
20-14, New Brighton over Beaver Falls. We're trying to find out exactly who it was that fell on that ball.
They're going to go talk to the coaches in the other booth. We got the athletic director and some of the people in the box. Nobody knows. There were 3 guys there.
There were. And I'm trying to look at the defense right now for what I see for Beaver Falls, and it looked as though number 50 was really close. Zavon Walker.
Who was it?
But it's hard to tell.
Terrence Banks. Terrence
Banks, number 53. 6'1" sophomore.
That's a big play.
Fell on that ball, and defense coming up big once again. You talked about the real possibility about maybe a defensive player could be the CCBC player of the game. And it may be the defense becomes the CCBC player of the game because of what you had in Jacob Jesseman's forced fumble and then now the recovery of a fumble.
Are they going to go for 2 here again? Try 16? Is that a touchdown? I mean, this is big. This is really big for Beaver Falls. They're going to go for 2. It's a big play. That's a big play for them.
So they're going to have McKelvey in the Wildcat. McKelvey, wide receiver, has not been one that was designated to be the quarterback today. Kenny Jewell was supposed to be quarterback, and now they're going to call timeout for Beaver Falls.
You know why?
Because of greater confusion about what was
Well, they had
happening.
a guy halfway on the field who wasn't getting off the field. They don't know if they have enough guys on the field. So something was wrong. As I count, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It looks like to me 10 guys on the field. Yeah. And they had, I don't know. They had some confusion. Someone was coming off the field. Remember that now. Now they only have one timeout the rest of this game. New Brighton has 3, I believe. No, 2.
They have 2. Wow.
I mean, here in this half, we've seen a fumble. New Brighton has turned it over 3 times now, twice this half. I mean, you're leading the game at the half. You're leading 20-0, and you've given that team life not once but twice. You keep giving a team life, a team that's young, a team that is in a rivalry game.
Right.
I mean, you want to put your foot down. You're on their territory, and Beaver Falls has come out strong, really strong at that.
They have. The second half has been remarkable.
And they played really hard in that first half. This team will turn it around. It might not be this year.
Up front, up tight, quarterback keeper.
I don't think.
And the conversion is no good. Kenny Jewell had it on that one and not able to cross the end zone. So now we're looking at 2014. Beaver Falls down by just 6 to New Brighton. 5:39 to go in the third quarter. The kickoff is next on Beaver County Radio.
Sometimes you win and sometimes you lose, but the game of life is a lot easier to play when you're insured with the best. More than 117 years has proven the Henderson Agency in Aliquippa knows what it takes to provide their customers with the best insurance for their needs. Auto, home, motorcycle, boat, or business. They pride themselves on good, old-fashioned friendly service and represent several insurance companies, including Progressive, National General, an Allstate company, and Mutual Benefit. The Henderson Agency, Aliquippa.
When it comes to questions about Mooney going for 2, Mooney made it pretty clear in pregame conversations that they go for 2, and in the rare occasion that they would decide to kick, it would be Derek Beck, their tailback, the 5'3", 125-pound sophomore, but they're obviously going for 2 on that, not able to convert. And so Antonio Frederick now set the kickoff, and it bounces at the 30, taken at the 26, bubbled and then picked back up and then down the sideline. That one, nice return there.
There goes flags
by Heath Lewis, and now flags on the play.
Yeah, you know what? Rivalry game, these kids from Beaver Falls, they know they're at home. They know from talking to their parents and their friends and everybody in school, they know that this Beaver Falls has dominated this rivalry for years. They know that New Brighton has only won once in the last 10 years. They know the scores. And they may not know about the JUG, but they're hearing a lot about it now. And they're playing tough physical football against this New Brighton squad. And New Brighton with a couple of turnovers, that's going to go against Beaver Falls. So another mistake by them. New Brighton needs to respond offensively because they're only up by 6, and they got a quarter and a half to play.
Horse collar penalty against Beaver Falls, so they can take the ball all the way into the 43 of Beaver Falls. How about this? 14 points scored by Beaver Falls. They've not done that since week 3 when they played Southside and lost 35-14.
Good for them.
Western Beaver, they lost 49-6, 23-0, and then 20-0 to Mohawk and Freedom, and then 21-8 against Union. Snap, handoff to Mike Vion, gets maybe 2 on a dive up the middle.
And he's one of their seniors, one of their leaders.
Second and 9, 5:15 running clock, ball in the far hash mark. New Brighton now, you'd think that they're a little stunned on their sideline. Being up 20-0 going into halftime, feeling pretty good about yourself, and now you're just over halfway through the third quarter, and now you're only up by 6 points. Shotgun formation, 4 wide, 2 and 2. Back to pass, going deep, man's wide open, and then overthrows him. Jaron King unable to hook up with his wide receiver on a go route down the sideline.
Well,
nobody was around him for a good 5 yards.
That's big now because now it's 3rd and 9. And instead of getting 4 or 5 yards on a run clip here or a small pass, they went big. And now you got to get 9 yards here. Big defensive possibility here for Beaver Falls. Remember, they got beat on some of those big plays earlier. They went a little too deep, I think. They just need to worry about getting a first down.
King's a quarterback, man on his hip, 2-2. Back to pass, looking, pressure is coming. Another screen pass right over the middle. First down pickup, bouncing it out to the left side, out to the 30-yard line. 25, 20, and tackled inside the 20 by McKelvey. And that nice catch and run by Heath Lewis.
I got to tell you something. What is that? 2 times we've seen that play work perfect? I mean, they sell out and let the quarterback back up. He's probably worked on that a ton. The line all comes to him. The linebackers are floating back. Everybody's floating back to cover all the receivers. You got a running back out of the backfield, and that has worked 2 times to perfection. That is a big play. And now New Brighton in full charge here.
And Heath Lewis, 81 yards receiving. He, too, coming into this game, every one of them on a screen pass. King, shotgun. And a flag is on the play. Movement by New Brighton, backing them up 5 yards. So now it is 1st and 15 from the 22. Ball's on the near hash mark for those of you who are listening on the radio and on the St. Barnabas app. If you want to, and if you're not already, please go to our Facebook page, Beaver County Radio. You can also go to our YouTube page, Beaver County Radio, and watch this game live as we stream it to you. New Brighton driving. They were in the red zone. Penalty knocked them back out. I formation next to King. Man in motion. Handoff to Montanez, and he went nowhere. Loss of about a yard on that one. JoJo just could not find any room. So the Beaver Falls once again showing themselves that they can play really good defense. They've been burned a couple of times on that screen pass. And a couple of self-inflicted wounds, but so far this second half,
they've been the better team.
They have been. Defensively, they've been playing very, very well.
And it's been a couple of big plays, a couple of missed plays on defense, a couple of big penalties. They played a lot tougher in this game than a lot of people thought they would.
King back to pass, looking for a man, has double coverage into corner, and overthrows his receiver, Bryson Porter-Jones.
Yep.
Incomplete, 3rd and what looks like 15.
Well,
16.
Here's the thing now, if you're Beaver Falls. You have to have somebody has got to watch Lewis coming out of the backfield for a screen. They burned him twice on that. Yeah, you got to cover the receivers, but someone has to assign to him. Because if it's worked twice, New Brighton could do it again.
3 wide receivers, near side, close to the line of scrimmage. Back to pass, looking down into the corner, all by himself in the end zone, and overthrows his receiver. His receiver was open by at least 10 or 15 yards.
There was a second guy
and
there,
he
too,
overthrew
that was open. He had 2 guys over there. Boy, Beaver Falls I don't know what they did on that play. I mean, if the arm is accurate, they've got touchdowns. Now they're 4th and 16. I imagine they go for it. You're not going to punt here. You just punt. It's just going to bring it back to the 20-yard line or at the 23. So you may as well go for it. They're probably going to do the same thing or set up that screen. Do not be surprised if they try it again here.
The intended target on that last pass was Mike Cleckley II.
And this is going to go to the right side.
And now they have 3 wide receivers to the right. He's looking that way, but throws it over the middle, incomplete over everybody's head, and the Beaver Falls Tigers defense holds.
I got to tell you, Beaver Falls has to chalk that up to some overthrows, 3 overthrows. That's a young guy throwing back there. He's got a nice arm. He reminds me a little bit about that kid from Western Beaver. Good, bad throughout the whole year. Got a strong arm, but young and making mistakes. And now the Tigers have the ball with a chance, just like they did in the first half. If they could go in and score, they could get a touchdown and take a lead.
2 big plays off their last 2 possessions. First time to touch the ball, Sincere Freeman. Does he get the ball?
Interesting, good point.
On the play here. They hand it off. They give it to Freeman. He's trying to get to the outside, and he gets taken down at the 25-yard line after a pickup of just 2.
I'll tell you what, compared to the first, we're talking the first half, New Brighton had the ball 4 times. They've had it 4 times here in the third quarter, and Beaver Falls had it 5 times the whole half. Now they've had it for the 3rd time here, but it's a very different half. How many times, Robert, have we seen in our games this year where it's 2 completely different halves? We've seen teams that weren't doing well last week, Blackhawk.
Right.
They weren't really playing well, and they dominated Ambridge in the second half. We've seen that a couple times this year.
McKelvey back, passes it out to the flat, and immediately taken down. Great play by the defender on that one. Joey Kennedy, the outside linebacker, able to make the stop at the point of reception, and 3rd and 9 still.
That had pick 6 written all over it, didn't it?
It did.
It did. Boy, I tell you, a couple seconds late, and he catches that. Boy, that was dangerous. 3rd and 9, they could have got a couple more there. This makes it really tough, but this is a really good football game. You think about this. Yeah, there's other games across the slate we could have done, but this turned out to be a good one, Robert.
It sure has. 1:33 to go, running clock. Hand off to McKelvey over the left side, makes a couple of people miss, finds the seam over that edge, and then gets out close to the 20-yard line, setting up a 4th down and 4, and out goes the punting unit.
Yeah, you're going to have to punt here. If they'd have got something on 3rd down or 2nd down, but 3rd and 9, now you're at 4th and about 5. You miss it here, you just basically give New Brighton a better chance. You got to get rid of the ball and hope to play defense again. It would have been nice for them to get a couple of first downs and move the ball, but field position right now is all New Brighton.
McKelvey back to punt. 2 returners back for the punt team. And the kick is away and taken on the left side and then taken down at the 50-yard line. Jackson Zahn was back. He returned it to the 50. So now the New Brighton Lions have it. Feeling a little bit of frustration, you would think, and not being able to move the ball, having a couple of turnovers, not being able to complete some passes. And then there's some doubts that are going through your mind about what to do next, what's going on here.
And the team on the other side is hitting hard. How about that play? 2 guys just take him right down. They're really hitting hard. And Beaver Falls is playing good defense. They've made a few mistakes. A couple big plays against them, but less mistakes and less penalties than the first half.
Salata now in a quarterback. Wide receivers, man in motion, fakes the handoff to the man in motion, and now the ball's on the ground and then recovered by Montanez. Once again, that toss play, this one to Montanez. The one that was recovered in the end zone was to Lewis, and that play just not working out well for the New Brighton Lions.
I tell you what, this team, the Lions, again, don't forget now, the Lions are a team that new coach, a lot of players that have some doubts over the last couple of years, a lot of players that played on some losing teams. You've turned things around, but they're starting to make mistakes against a rival, and they got to be careful here.
We're coming up on what may very well be the last play of the third quarter. Wide receivers 2 and 2. Man in motion again. Salata takes it. Looking downfield, finds a man out in the flat, 50-yard line, 45, and taken out of bounds. Mike Cleckley once again with the reception.
That's the same kind of play where you just get everybody coming after you, the quarterback, and they're chasing him. They haven't got to him, and there are not enough guys back there to make the play, and they get big yardage, and now it's 3rd and 2, and we'll go to the fourth quarter.
The ball is spotted at the 42-yard line on the far hash mark of Beaver Falls. And the time runs out in the third quarter. 20-14, New Brighton on top of Beaver Falls. The fourth quarter is next on Beaver County Radio.
Tri-State Sporting Arms on Main Street in New Brighton is now open. Stop in and explore their extensive selection of high-quality firearms, pistols, and accessories. Tri-State Sporting Arms also pays top dollar for used firearms. Their experienced and highly trained staff is here to assist you in selecting the right firearm for you. Stop on down to Beaver County's newest firearm store, Tri-State Sporting Arms, at 807 3rd Avenue, New Brighton, or check them out on Facebook.
It's the fourth quarter coming up. We'll take a look at the Electric Garage Doors postgame show, and at the end of the game, we'll get the latest in the scores from the Fry Transportation Update Desk. Name the CCBC players of the games, one from each team.
Man, I'll tell you.
And get the interviews with those players and the winning coach with Tank.
You know, what we do here at Beaver County Radio, yes, we cover the good teams. We cover the Alcopas, the Beaver, when the teams are good. But, you know, when you, and Frank Sparks calls it right, you have to do a game like this. And this has turned out to be really good. Between two rival teams, combined a losing record. But look at this crowd. This is one of the bigger crowds we've seen all year long.
3rd and 2, collecting on the sweep. He gets the first down pickup to the 36-yard line. 1st and 10 now for the Lions.
And you know, all the years I've been doing this, we've seen baseball championships from Beaver Falls. We've seen WPL and state in basketball. We've seen WPL and state in football. We've seen a lot of really good athletes coming out of here. And like Jim Carbone said, it's a little down right now, but you can see the fight in these kids. You really can. And you can tell if these kids stay together in the next couple of years, they'll be back.
Man in motion. Dive play up the middle. Quarterback keeper. Pick up of a few yards, maybe about 5 on that one, taking it to the 31. From the Fry Transportation Update Desk, how about this one? Freeport and Hopewell, they're in the 4th, still no score.
Interesting.
Neshannock up by 2 on Southside, 21-19.
Tough game.
Still Valley continues to roll, 42-7 over Ulsh. Beaver, 41-3 on North Catholic.
That's big. North Catholic, I thought, was a little bit better than that, but we know how good Beaver is.
48-0 Aliquippa on Blackhawk. And Elwood City and Riverside. Elwood City up by 1, 7-6. Mike Vion keeps it. He's chased down over the left side, but he finds some room, catches the corner, and inside the red zone, inside the 15, down to the 14-yard line.
Man,
Mike Vion.
That's their biggest play of the half. They needed that because now they're in 4-down territory, and even if Beaver Falls stops them, they're going to have a long, long way to go. That's a big play by New Brighton. Continue on your...
Freedom and Union, they're knotted up at 21.
Interesting game.
Central Valley all over Quaker Valley, 45-6. Rochester and Cornell, 34-22 Cornell over the Rams.
Boy, Rams hanging tough, getting better.
And the Tigers beating up on Baldwin 36-6. That's still in the second quarter. At least that score posting was. Snap back, keeper. Mike Vion keeps it himself in a Wildcat down inside the 8-yard line. Nice pickup there of about 6.
Yeah, they're wearing them down a little bit, and this is tough. You know, Beaver Falls outplayed them in the 3rd, and now New Brighton, if they could score here, they'll be up 2 touchdowns. And, boy, you know, Beaver Falls, if they could have made a really good defensive stance here, could have got the ball back, but just couldn't get anything going. Had to punt the ball the last 2 times they had it in the 3rd quarter. They're getting worn out.
Update score on Freeport and Hopewell. Freeport 21, Hopewell 19. They're now in the 3rd. Handoff on a sweep around the right side, finding some room and into the end zone. Touchdown.
Yep. Well, one guy says yes, the other guy says no.
Both of the officials are inside the end zone on the line judges, but nobody's putting their hands up in the air.
Yeah, the 2 guys on the far side, nobody made an indication. The one official who had to run down, there's somebody down and hurt. The one official ran down, and he immediately said touchdown, but others didn't. So I'm very curious whether his knee was down before the ball went across. And that's why I think some of these guys didn't call it.
Well, now there's finally a late call. I saw the far line judge finally decide to call a touchdown.
Interesting. Very curious.
It is.
If we could
because both of the officials were inside the end zone, but nobody was ready to raise their hands.
I think Mr. Curtis Walsh is going to show us an instant replay.
Here's the instant replay. Vion has it, hands it off, and then clearly inside the end zone, he got a touchdown on that.
Looks like the ball over before his knee hit down on the 1-yard line.
Yes, and then the official just waiting.
How about that replay by Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Curtis Walsh, give him some credit, producer behind the scenes.
And the perfect angle by our cameraman, Keith Walsh.
And these guys are unsung heroes here for us. the Walsh family.
And they are setting up for the extra point. Caden Pavlich. And the kick is up, and it is good. And now makes it 27-14. New Brighton over Beaver Falls with 9:55 to go in the fourth quarter. The kickoff is next on Beaver County Radio.
This football season, don't pass on McGee Heating and Air Conditioning. Honest sales and 7 days a week emergency service have made them tops in their game for over 60 years. That's how long families just like yours have been relying on McGee for all their heating and cooling needs. Get ready now for the cooler days ahead and call McGee today at 724-375-7112. Serving the Beaver Valley, including Aliquippa, Monaca, Hopewell, and Center Township. McGee Heating and Air Conditioning. Family owned and operated, Main Street, Aliquippa. Good luck to all the teams who visit the Gridiron this season from McGee Heating and Air Conditioning.
Coming up at the end of the game, we will have the CCBC players of the game, interviews with them with Tank Latham on the eXp Realty Sideline Report. We'll also have the interview with the Wooding coach at the end of the game as well. And at this point,
I think right now it's a couple of guys for each team, depending on what happens the rest of the way. I've got 2 guys for each team fighting it out.
The kickoff gets touched by a Beaver Falls Tiger. No, the officials are saying it did not.
Yeah, so that's out of bounds. The thing is, what you try to do there is, what you're hoping that someone, it bounces the way a football's shaped. You hope it bounces off of someone and your guy gets there. So it's kind of like an onside, but not an onside. You're hoping it bounces off somebody. Mm-hmm. If you're Beaver Falls, the best thing for you to do is just to let it go. So touching it is the worst thing you can do unless it bounces right to you and you keep it. But that goes out of bounds, and they'll probably get the ball. Where are they going to put it? They're going to mark it off. They're going to mark it off to the...
Well, it looks like the 42.
Yeah, 5 yards from where it went out of bounds, I think.
So, Tank, am I seeing correctly from up here where they're laying the ball on the ground for the kickoff instead of putting it on a tee?
Yes, that's what they're doing. They are laying it down sideways and they're kicking it straight off this AstroTurf down here on Geneva Stadium.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, once again, Beaver Falls has it. Back to pass. McKelvey decides to call a quarterback draw, but the pressure just too much.
Yeah,
up the middle, and they were able to get a stop. Nazir Humphreys, first time we mentioned him during the game, tackle for loss.
I think that was well drawn up, and if he doesn't get bumped, he gets some yardage, but they managed to have a guy get a hand on him, and it turned him around, and he couldn't quite get his speed. If he gets around the first contact, I think he gets some good yardage. That's not a bad play to be drawn up. And just a side note, I'm not sure if Tank can hear me here, probably a good idea to change those batteries if you haven't already for the post-game interviews.
McKelvey in the Wildcat. A man in motion, back to pass, fakes it, decides to run it himself, gets over that left side, first down pickup, all the way down to the 45-yard line. Nice run by McKelvey.
You know what? When you are the fastest guy in the team in football, you have to have the ball in your hands to make plays. He's done it last week. He's done it this week. They're seeing that he's a guy that can continually do it and take this beating. That's a really nice play. It's the same play that they just designed. This time, they made sure he got to the outside and had some blocking for him so he could get some speed. Nice play.
1st and 10 for Beaver Falls at the New Brighton 45. Sincere Freeman coming in late from the sideline.
Interesting.
Lines up next to McKelvey. And McKelvey bouncing it outside, trying to find some room, gets the crease inside the 40, makes a man miss, and finally brought down at the 38-yard line. Nice pickup by Jean McKelvey.
I tell you what, man, 10 guys out there, and they realized Freeman wasn't there. He didn't realize he was supposed to be out there. Interesting. And now running into the game for Beaver Falls is our guy we talked about a couple of times, Levi Wynn, the freshman, 102-pounder. He's out there for this play. Love seeing this.
How much?
102, it says.
102?
Am I wrong?
No, I'm not saying that you are, but it's
102. He's out there in the slot.
McKelvey, and just a play that got messed up from the beginning.
And a flag.
He got tackled, and then another New Brighton player fell on top of him. So the official, the head referee, is calling a personal foul against New Brighton.
Wow.
So New Brighton, that has the big sack and a loss of about 6 yards, now they're going to give up a first down.
I mean, you know, there's hitting, there's talking, there's back and forth trash talk. We get all that. Guys down, you can't hit them. In this day and age, it's not 1970 anymore. I mean, you could take a quarterback and dunk him on his head like Terry Bradshaw got, but boy, you fall on a guy, but he's already down. You're going to get called for it, and there it is. First down. Beaver Falls with life. 8 minutes to go. Interesting. Down by 13.
Waiting to see what the down marker. Okay, they're moving in. They had it marked the third down. They're moving it to first down.
Yep.
Play clock is down to 6 seconds. Snap off, good. Freeman has it up the middle, close to the 30-yard line. Pick up a 3 on that play.
Well, they're starting to get bigger chunks of yardage here. Starting to get bigger chunks of yardage. Starting to get wear this New Brighton team down. The speed guys on this game, we've seen Mike Vion. But Beaver Falls has 2 guys, Freedom and McKelvey, that are probably the 2 fastest guys on the field. And generally when you get toward the end of a game, guys get tired, and now the tackling isn't quite as crisp, and these guys are taking over.
McKelvey's in the quarterback spot. Wildcat, because he's not naturally the quarterback. He takes it, he runs up the middle, tries to bounce it out to the left, and he wasn't going anywhere on that one. Number 4, Nazir Humphreys, was the first to get to him,
and
now he's down on the field.
Could be a cramp, I don't know. We'll see.
They're going to come over and tend to him. Training staff for both schools out to him, to giving him a look.
Soon as he
went
made
down on the near side.
As soon as he made the tackle, he went down. It doesn't look like a cramp. So he either jammed something with a leg, a knee, I don't know, couldn't tell.
Yeah, he made first contact, and it looked as though he was throwing him down to the ground.
Yeah.
And then, so he never really fell down to the ground as well, but now he is because of that injury. And so what we'll do is we'll give them time to go ahead and check him out and make sure everything is okay. 7:02 to go in the fourth quarter. 27-14 New Brighton on top of Beaver Falls. More coming up on Beaver County Radio.
Looking for home services? Call Patriot Home Care in Beaver Falls. Their staff provides company, conversation, and companionship to all patients, ensuring medications are taken on time, participating in fun community activities, personal care, meal prep, and light household work are all services provided by Patriot Home Care, all thanks to the hardworking and selfless team members. Call Patriot Home Care at 724-506-8911 or stop in Patriot Home Care, 1225 7th Avenue, Beaver Falls.
And we're back, and it looks as though Nazir Humphreys able to walk off under his own power.
That's good to see.
Very, very good to see. Beaver Falls continues to have the ball. Third down now. 6 yards to go. They need to get to the 23, just outside the 23, just inside the 24. And Sincere Freeman.
There seems to be some confusion here, Robert.
Yeah, who's supposed to get the ball here? They're lining themselves up. Jewel, they shift over to the right. Looks as though McKelvey's going to get it. He does, fakes right, goes left. The flag is on the play. He's able to get outside and taken down at the 10. And there may be another. No, they're going to let that one go. He seemed to be thrown down in the once he got out of bounds.
This might be on holding on New Brighton, but on Beaver Falls. But boy, I tell you what, he had the blocking that time, Robert, and he went around that left. He got one key block, and it freed him to get down the sidelines. But is it going to stay? I don't think it is. I think that's that's holding against Beaver Falls.
Yeah,
boy,
they're going to bring it back.
Here's the play. I mean, he had a block, and he got that. He's such a fast runner that if you just get him that speed, but holding on the line, mistakes by this Beaver Falls team. They're close. They're close to getting a win. You can tell this team is fighting hard. It's just mistakes. It's young, youthful mistakes that are costing them. It cost them in the first half 3 or 4 times. Oh, my, now it's costing them now.
So they're backed up to the 39-yard line. They would have had it a first down near the 10.
I mean,
but now they're all the way back to the 39.
That's
Huge
a big
penalty.
run. That's a big run for him. Won't count in the stats. But, boy, that was so well drawn up and executed perfectly. The blocking was there. And a lot of kids don't want to block for other people. But, again, a team game. See what they can draw up now here, 3rd and 16.
Wide receivers wide, both sides. Near hash mark. McKelvey back, screen pass, sets it up nicely. A penalty flag is on the play. Screen pass to Freeman down inside the 31.
I didn't see what that could be. I don't
penalty
think
flag around the 41.
Is that holding again? I don't know, but that's a nice drawn-up play there. But who's that one going to go against?
That's really odd that you would have a holding penalty on a screen play.
I would think so too, but boy, I don't know what else could it be because it was thrown in the backfield. Unless it's against New Brighton. No, this is... That's
penalty against Beaver Falls.
Is that an illegal shift? No.
Yeah, ineligible.
Man downfield. Interesting. So one of the linemen obviously went
moved too quick.
Downfield.
Yep.
So Brighton might deny that. I think they did. I think they kept the play, but wait a minute. They're not moving the ball back? Wait a minute.
The officials have yet to decide what they're going to do with the ball.
Wait a minute.
So the penalty, I guess, is ultimately declined, setting up a 4th down.
Yes, exactly.
It's 4th and 9.
Yeah, they declined it. Okay.
Man coming in late to the play. Everybody set. Ball back to McKelvey. He's looking. Fakes the throw. Decides to run it himself. It looks as though he's close to first down yardage. He has the first down. Breaking over the left side. Trying to find some room all the way down to the 5.
That's such a nice play. He's done that a couple times. He does that fake. He fakes to the right to run and fakes the throw and then goes around the left. He is so fast.
He is
amazing.
Is
he fast. Man, that is an unbelievable play on 4th down. This team is really, really surprising me, Robert. I did not know what to expect here tonight, but this team is better than I thought. Talking to Coach Mooney over the week, talking to him on Wednesday, the way he impressed me about how tough he was with the kids and how they're a family and they're playing week to week and working hard and all those things you say, this team's actually coming out and doing it against a rival, and they played better than them in this second half, though down 2 touchdowns.
McKelvey gets it, hands it off to Freeman right up the middle. Touchdown, Beaver Falls. So look at that. Beaver Falls staying in this game. 6:04 to go in the 4th. They're now down by 7. They're going to go for 2 here. At least you would expect that they would. They do have a kicker, Derek Beck. But Mooney made it pretty clear that they are going to go for 2 more often than not. McKelvey comes back from the sideline after talking with Mooney. Mooney, his own offensive coordinator. The ball set back at the 3.
This is big. You make it here, now a touchdown wins the game. You miss, you're going to have to get an extra point somehow.
All right, McKelvey in the Wildcat. Freeman on his right hip. Takes the snap, follows Freeman up over that right side. 2-point conversion is good. Zashawn McKelvey, a one-man wrecking crew for Beaver Falls. He's been absolutely stellar tonight, getting that 2-point conversion, getting this game within 5. 27-22. We're going to keep it right here.
Yeah, I mean,
6:04 to go in the 4th quarter.
We have both done football sports for a long time. And you see one team that's, no shout out, 8 points, haven't played well, and now you play a rival. And everybody says, everything's thrown out the window. And you know what? A lot of times you say, nah, that's not going to happen.
Right.
Everything thrown out the window. Look at this game, 27-22,
right.
And likely one of the best games in the county all night. I mean, this Beaver Falls team has really risen to the occasion. They're a play away from winning this game, a play away. And you think about all the plays that have gone against them.
Mm-hmm.
This is a really good ball game. 2 really well-coached teams, 2 teams on the up and coming. And I'm so glad to see New Brighton back and Beaver Falls coming back. Along with, as well, we have time, along with teams like Hopewell, teams like Elwood City, teams like Riverside. It's nice to see these teams coming back up in the county. It makes it better broadcasting, better matchups. It makes it tougher for us to pick games.
Great offensive performance when they've had the opportunity with Beaver Falls, and defensively they've been giving up 34 points a game.
Yep.
They're now at 27, and if they can hold at this point, an offensive production, they've not scored 22 points since they played in Monty Christian back in week 1 when they lost 46-27. Kick is away. taken up at the 20-yard line, now back at the 17-yard line. That man missed it. Cleckley has it, trying to find some room, and then taken down. He keeps on running backwards.
Wow. Look
and he's
at the
finally
pursuit.
tackled inside his own 15-yard line.
How about the pursuit by Beaver Falls? 1, 2, 3 guys after him. This team is fired up. This team is fired up. The pursuit on that kickoff, that is huge. They've knocked him back 20 yards, and now with 5:54 to go, if you can play some solid defense, you get the ball back. You've been the better team. You could come back and win this game. They got to play some defense here. And now New Brighton, they got some work to do. They need a couple of first downs. And if they don't get a couple of first downs, they're in some trouble here.
Let's go to Tank on the sideline, eXp Realty Sideline Report. Tank, what have you noticed with the coaches?
Yeah, guys, I've been noticed these coaches are down here. They are going absolutely crazy down here, coaching up their young players, telling them what they're doing good, telling them what they're doing bad, holding them accountable. But we got something going on here right now.
Yeah, Cleckley on his sweep on around the left side, able to get big yardage from around the original line of scrimmage all the way out near midfield off of that sweep, able to make a couple of men miss.
This is like a good boxing match. This is, back and forth. You hit me, I hit you. You take a penalty, I make a mistake. You turn the ball over. I've done this. I beat you in the first half. You're beating me in the second. This is like a 12-run fight, and it's not over yet.
He finally fell just beyond the 50, but the referees are going to say that he stepped out of bounds back at the 43. Still a really big pickup for Mike Cleckley, who's been key for New Brighton tonight. Quarterback keeper looking for some room. That was Mike Vion, and he got 2 yards on that play.
And I think the fans see this, and me and you do. The pursuit to the ball now by Beaver Falls. These kids are fired up, and how fast they're rifling to the ball, how fast they're getting it and trying to shed blocks. They're outmanned a little bit weight-wise on the line, but they're still playing a tough defense. And all half they have been. Sorry, Robert.
No, it's okay. 2nd and 8 now for New Brighton. 5:14 running clock. They're up by 5 points, and New Brighton doing their best to force them to punt to get that ball back. Sweep now. Up over midfield. Close to first down yardage. Just a little bit shy. Jojo Montanez on that pickup.
Yeah, nice play, nice sweep. Good block up front. They found a seam. Big yardage for them. Now that brings up 3rd and 2. But I think no matter what, if you're... Boy, if they stop them here, now New Brighton has decisions to make. They've gone for it every time on 4th down, but only up 5, and you don't make it on 4th down. Do you give them the ball, or do you punt and make them run a long way? See the big play here for New Brighton.
Handoff. Cleckley has it, looking for some room outside. He has it. First down and more. 35-30. Down inside the 30-yard line and finally tackled out of bounds close to the 25. They're going to call him out right at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, that's a big play. That's a really big play because now that's going to go 4 more downs, and that's going to take a lot more time off the clock. That's big for New Brighton. And what did they do that Beaver Falls didn't do? They're not going to the outside. They used their speed to the outside and beat Beaver Falls cornerbacks to the outside. That's a big first down. And not only first down, but a big yardage first down.
Yeah, they're taking their time now.
Yes.
Play clock down to 14 seconds. Mike Vion is in the Wildcat. Takes it himself right up the middle. Picking up about 3 yards on that play.
See, this is okay now. Hold on to the ball. They're never going to pass the ball. And you're going to take off at least a minute and a half here. Run it up the middle, run it to the side, but don't go out of bounds. No matter what you do, don't go out of bounds. Because at the worst, you turn the ball over inside the 20, and Beaver Falls has to go 80 yards in 2 minutes. They're capable with the speed they have, but you want to run this down. Even if you don't score, you just want to run the clock down.
And not even necessarily even try for a field goal. Just go for it on 4th down and you have more and more clock.
Take the clock.
Play clock down to 5 seconds. Hands it off. Over that right side, Montanez has it, makes a man miss. 15 down inside the 15, close to the 10-yard line, and finally piled up by a bunch of Beaver Falls Tigers.
You see what he could have done there. He could have went to the outside and gone out of bounds, right?
Yes.
He didn't. He stopped and came back in bounds. You know what that means? Somebody coached that man well. They told him on the sideline. So what's that going to do? First down, clock keeps moving, and they're just moving it. They're stopping the clock while they move the sticks, but that clock should be running any second now.
3:13. Play clock is at 20 seconds. Once again, they're going to take their time here.
I don't know why there goes the clock.
Yeah, the referee just winding it into motion, and now they're set up one more time.
And you run the ball up the middle here.
Vion in the Wildcat. Heath Lewis on his hip. Vion keeps it, goes out wide to the 15, close to the 10-yard line, and then out of bounds, stopping the clock.
Yeah, I mean, they're close to the goal line. I get that, but got to stay in bounds. I know you don't want to get hit. Yeah, in this situation, you have to, simply because what if you fumble? What if you turn it over? You don't want them to have time on the clock. You keep the ball in bounds, you run another 30 seconds off the clock. Because if you make a mistake, if you fumble the ball, you give them time. You don't want them to have time. That's the game.
It's so hard to convince a young kid.
I know.
In that heat of the moment, you're making the run, they go ahead and take a knee and just slide down. Vion, Wildcat, takes it, hands it off on a sweep. Montanez fighting for more and more yardage all the way inside the 5, close to the end zone. There's a flag on the play. They're going to say he's down inside the 1, but there's a flag back at the 12-yard line. So we have to sort out this penalty. It's holding against New Brighton.
I know this is going to sound nuts, but if you're Beaver Falls and he scores, that's not the worst thing in the world because you'll get the ball back. And if you can score because of your talent, you got the option of an onside kick, and then you could win the game. Not a lot of time left, but you can't win this game if you don't get the ball back. I know it sounds crazy, but I've seen that happen in a game before where teams have just said, well, that's the worst thing.
Yeah.
Or you could run a ball back, you could run a kick back, and then I'm sure Tank has seen a lot of crazy things like that, but this now, the penalty, this hurts Beaver Falls because now New Brighton still has a couple plays to run and kill the clock.
Yeah, so it's second down now, but it's 2nd and 17. And King has it. Double reverse. Cleckley has it around the corner looking for some room and knocked out of bounds. Just outside the 10.
This might end up Beaver Falls getting the ball back, but they're going to have a long way to go. And you know what that means? If they get this ball back, could we see Zayshawn McKelvey run a miracle? Can we see them do some things? This is going to be interesting. 2 big downs and 8 yards for New Brighton to get a first down.
And a first down that may very well seal it if they can get it.
They're trying to go to the outside. Interesting. That'd be interesting to see them pass the ball in here, but that's dangerous because an interception could kill them.
Lions up by 5. Hand off to Mike Vion around that outside, trying to find the corner. Does he get it?
Yep.
He does. Touchdown, Mike Vion and the New Brighton Lions. And they go from 27-22 now to 33-22 with 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go.
11-yard TD. I tell you what, man, good blocking too. Here we go. Watch this. Watch the guys on the lead block over here. Look, 1, 2 guys, 3 guys, and block guys and give him all kind of room. That is a tremendously run play, Robert.
Yeah, when you have a lead blocker like that goes all the way around the outside with you and just keeps on pushing and pushing and doesn't stop. So oftentimes you have a guy that will make a block and then let the block go as you're trying to get around that outside, but he just kept on pushing it and pushing it. Tank, as a former lineman, you must have loved that block on that outside, the free Vion.
Oh, that was amazing. Lewis over here, Heath Lewis, that was a beautiful thing to watch. He just locked right on him, and he drove him into the dirt, into the end zone, and got his player for the score.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, this 230, it sounds crazy.
It is crazy. It's 12 points.
But if the Beaver Falls, you're wearing teams down, if the fastest player one of the fastest 3 players is Zayshawn McKelvey and Sincere Freeman, if those 2 guys can make big plays and score, you still have that option of a onside kick. It could happen. or you run the ball back here. We'll see. I mean, if you're New Brighton, you cannot kick to anybody deep. You can't. You just take it out of bounds and make them earn it. Don't give them an opportunity to run back because that won't take much time off the clock. New Brighton has to be smart here.
Once again, that ball is laying flat at the 40. Squibs it beyond everybody, all the way back to the 5. It needs to get picked up at the 2-yard line and then returned out to no more than the 10.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Is that a smart
What
kick?
a kick. Very smart move. Went by everybody, and then Derek Beck was hoping it was going to go into the end zone.
If you kick it high, you can get underneath it. If you kick it low, you kick it through people quick, and no one wants to get in front of it because they're worried it's going to bounce off them. That is a brilliant play. But now, this makes it really hard for Beaver Falls. Well, this has been a really good game. I don't know about you, Tank, Robert, but to me, this is our best game of the year.
This has been a fantastic game.
I mean, the Beaver game was good.
A lot of excitement here.
We've had some good games. The Riverside game was good. This has been a really good game.
And what's really great about this is that when you look at the records coming into the game, you don't think it's going to be that exciting of a game.
I know, and you know what? This and Central Valley Beaver, these two rank up there. That Central Valley Beaver game was fantastic as well.
Oh, that second half, remarkable the way Beaver came back and made a game. Snap, low snap, and then ultimately taken down. Are they going to call it a safety? No, the referee is going to say that the forward progress stopped at the 3.
Yikes. Okay.
So Beaver Falls running clock, second down. It's down to about 2-7.
Yeah, this is going to make it really, really hard. And they're going to have a couple of really big plays. Big plays. And I just don't know if they have enough to go this far. They're going to have to go 97 yards now in less than 2 minutes.
And the clock continues to roll. They have one timeout left, Beaver Falls. And they're wanting to save it for as long as they can. Set up in the end zone. McKelvey has it. Looking for some room. Able to get out to the 5. Make a man miss. Close to the 10-yard lift. Ball's on the ground. Fumble. And it looks as though it's recovered by New Brighton.
Is he down, though? No indication from the ref. I thought he was down.
Waiting for the official call. But it looked as though they're marking it. Yes, they're calling it first down, New Brighton.
Wow, okay.
The way the referees are holding it, I just saw the one referee say, yes, it's New Brighton's ball. Wow. 34-22, New Brighton. They're going to come out victorious in this game.
That's their second fumble of the game. Second turnover. They had an interception, and so that's it. And you're New Brighton, you just let Neal on the ball. That's all. Don't give them any reason for payback for the next year. You just kneel on the ball, you're done. They could call one timeout, but it doesn't matter at this point. They're in victory formation, the best formation in football. Yep, that's it.
And a knee's taken. And the clock continues to go.
This is big for New Brighton. They come into Beaver Falls, win the JUG game, have bragging rights for a year. Your program is back. New coach. Listen to their crowd. Big game for them. Beaver Falls, I tell you what, tough fight for them. And I'm really impressed by how I'm excited about this game. I really am. I know a lot of people will say, you're crazy. The team hasn't won a game. This was a really good football game.
Let's talk about players of the game.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Tank, you're listening.
Who do you like,
Tank? What do you like so far?
Definitely for New Brighton, I got to go with my boy Heath Lewis with just playing offense and defense and doing a great job lead blocking and running the ball.
Okay.
I believe he got a touchdown in there too. But for Beaver Falls, I would definitely say it's LaShawn McKelvey. He has shown excellent leadership, taking on that quarterback role and just taking over the game for Beaver Falls.
What do you think, Robert?
Sean McKelvey is an automatic for me.
I agree with that.
Mike Vion played fantastic on both sides,
I'm thinking, I go Mike Vion. He scored those 2 touchdowns in the second half. I know Heath Lewis played great on both sides of the ball, but Vion with those big plays when they needed them, I go Vion. So it's going to be Vion and McKelvey.
All right.
That's what
I got a good one with Vion.
Yeah, so Vion is number 5 and McKelvey is number 4.
All right, very good. So there you go. Final score, 34-22. And New Brighton comes out victorious over their rival, the Beaver Falls Tigers. And what a game it ended up being. I mean, all the way.
Man,
when you thought maybe this was going to be just a blowout, Beaver Falls came back in the second half, made a fantastic game of this, made some halftime adjustments. Defense came out inspired, got 2 big turnovers, and Beaver Falls was within a possession of being able to win this game.
Twice. They had a possession in the first half where they could have went ahead when they were down 6-0. Mistakes cost this team. Penalties, turnovers, and missed assignments. And that happens with a young team. But this team's a little bit closer than I thought they were. I thought, but they've grown and they've gotten better and they've stuck together. I give this coach a lot of credit. I know people think, they haven't won a game, you're crazy as 80. But you know something? They haven't seen this team play. They pursued the ball, as we're watching for Tank, they have pursued the ball so hard in that second half. I mean, they really played hard. A team that has no wins, a lot of teams would have quit. Right. And this team did not quit, Robert. They did not at all. Down at the half, no wins, but you're at home, and these kids have pride, and they worked hard. Right. So to me, I'm proud of these kids. They played hard. And I'm also proud of New Brighton. They come into Beaver Falls and win, and that's hard to do over the years.
Yeah, when you have a rivalry game like this and you realize that Beaver Falls is coming up for, of all games, they're going to be up for this JUG game. Yeah. This game that they've battled out now for more than 3/4 of a century. We now go down to Tank on the sideline, and he is with the player of the game from CCBC Player of the Game, Mike Vion. Tank?
Yeah, I'm standing here with the CCBC Player of the Game, Mike Vion. So tell me, what this week, all week, has this been circled on your calendar? Tell me a little bit about this week.
Absolutely. I mean, we know how this felt for the town, how much this game felt, how much it felt for us, how much we needed to win, and it just felt good out there and do it for my brothers.
Yeah, I know you. I've known you pretty much your whole life. I know you're not afraid of anything. Last time I saw you at our office, you were holding our pet alligator there. You remember? You are not afraid of anything. You got that $20 earned from the basketball team. You remember that?
Yeah, dude, that was a great experience. You know, it was very welcoming with that interview, and very, very interesting too, petting that alligator. You know.
Hey, Tank, ask him now. He's CCBC Player of the Game. I think it's his 3rd time in 2 years, and he's been on Coach's Corner 3 times. He's getting to be a radio star now.
Yeah, they're saying you've been on the radio 3 times for player of the game and on Coach's Corner. You're turning into a regular host here. I mean, they're going to start paying you to be on TV here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against it. You know, it's always good to make a bag. You know, always good to make some money.
That's right. Congratulations, and taste some of that sweet jug water for me when you get there.
There you go. Mike Vion, CCBC Player of the Game.
What's up?
He is also joined by the head coach of the New Brighton Lions, John McCouga. Big victory. First time to coach in it, and he gets a victory in the JUG game.
Yes, congratulations, Coach Cougs. 1-0 Beaver Falls head coach here against New Brighton. You got the JUG coming back with you. So you got a little dice in there at the end, but you guys never gave up. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, I mean, our guys, they just kept fighting. It got a little shaky in the 3rd quarter, but our guys kept fighting. They didn't give up, and we were able to come out on top. It was fantastic.
It was a great Western Pennsylvania football game. I mean, this is chilly weather. This is what it's made out of, Coach.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Enjoy this win.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Congratulations, New Brighton, on winning the JUG, bro. Just trust me next year. Next year, we're going to
That's right. Tradition, baby.
That's right.
Back, and we're going to beat Moon tomorrow, too, so come and check it out.
Hey, good luck. Good luck.
I love it. I love when the young kids, this is what we tell those kids, Tank, to stick with the program and keep working.
You got to stick with it because, you got to keep fighting through. Keep winning. Keep winning.
That's good stuff. All right. Thank you very much, Tank. I do appreciate it. Thank you. In a moment, we're hoping to be able to talk to McKelvey. McKelvey's coming over to him right now, the CCBC Player of the Game for Beaver Falls. Just absolutely turning this into a one-man wrecking crew. Took the entire team and put them on his shoulders and just played outstanding in leadership as a senior. Sean McKelvey now with Tank on the sideline.
Hey, first off, great game, Sean. You guys fought real hard on that. I know it's been a tough year, but you took on some leadership role in that game. I could see throughout the game. So did you injure your hand, or is that just something going on there?
Yeah, a little sprain, but you got to fight through it. Nothing serious.
That's right. So you were following some great blocks you had out here. I mean, you guys are just missing a couple little things here and there. You got some good stuff going on there. What's one good thing you could take away from this game?
One good thing I can take away from this game, we didn't turn on each other. You know, we're family at the end of the day. No matter how hard it got, we didn't flip on each other.
That's huge. That's great, and that definitely goes into life as well, brother.
Yes,
so congratulations.
Yeah, make sure you tell them this. As a senior, the young guys that are going to grow up and turn this into an absolutely winning program are going to remember the seniors on this team in 2024, and they're going to remember him.
Yeah, they're trying to say up there, the younger guys on his team is going to look up to these seniors, showing them they never gave up, and it's going to keep building that program over and over. Mm-hmm. Congratulations on a hard-fought game. Keep it going, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Tank. Do appreciate that. So the CCBC players of the game, so Sean McKelvey, number 4 for Beaver Falls, just played outstanding tonight on offense.
No doubt.
And then also Mike Vion, another standout, not only on offense, defense, special teams. He did it all for them.
It's hard to take away what the young man from New Brighton did that we all liked in the first half. The kid we talked about exclusively, Heath Lewis. I mean, he played great, and he had that touchdown. Has he got somebody else?
Yeah, Tank has Coach Mooney of the Beaver Falls Tigers. Tank, take it away.
Yeah, I'm down here with Coach Mooney. Coach, that was probably, I'm going to say, the best game we've had all year on WBVP on Friday Night Lights down here. So that's just something that just builds character, that game.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first half was upsetting again. It's the same story again, that we keep beating ourselves with penalties. I thought the kids responded well at halftime. Halftime wasn't easy on them guys. They came back out. They started playing some pretty good football defensively. I think we scored a touchdown defensively. I just found out here a minute ago it was one of my big guys, so that's always kind of a cool thing. But, the kids fought back. I mean, it's just, these losses they're just tough.
Yeah, that was big number 53 falling on that. He was my pick for player of the game before he even got on the field. That kid is huge. Yeah, that's character. I mean, great. And you, like you said, on the sideline here, they were picking each other up. Your coaching staff, kudos to your coaching staff, because they were out here coaching them up, telling them what they were doing wrong, telling them what to do, how to make it better. You got a good thing going here, Coach.
That's a cool observation to hear.
Hey.
Wait, got something good.
Tell him that, we were extremely impressed with the fight of his kids, the tackling, the pursuit of the ball. I mean, they could have given up. This team doesn't give up, and we're extremely impressed with the job he's doing.
They're saying up there that they were extremely impressed at the tenacity that your guys had, the never give up mentality that everybody had on here, and it's just all the guys, everybody getting to the ball. And kudos once again to the program, the town, and it shows the rivalry too. It makes such a big thing.
Yeah, and you knew New Brighton was coming in. They wanted to get that jug back, and again, kudos to Cougs and his staff over there. They're doing a good job. But the one thing I've been really focused on, and I care about these guys as young men as much as football players, and I think we have a lot of good young men on our team right now.
Right. No doubt.
Whether they're successful in football or not right now, that's kind of obviously it's not good right now, but they're going to be successful in life, and that's just as important as anything. So
that's right.
Congratulations, Coach. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you very much, Tank. Do appreciate that.
Great character there. Great character all around.
Without a doubt. Let's talk about this defense for a second. I'm looking at the numbers that they present. How tall they are and how much they weigh. There isn't one player on this Beaver Falls defense that is 6 foot. And there is only 2 of them that weigh more than 200 pounds. There's a couple of them that weigh about $1.25 or less.
And you think about it, these guys, except for the freshmen, these sophomores, these juniors, these seniors, they were all there at Acrisure the last 3 years. They all saw the seniors and juniors, what they did. And now these younger kids are getting older, and they're seeing that if they want to play, they're getting beat up a little bit, but they know they can stick with certain teams. If they would have played like this early in the season, but they were young. And it is so tough to turn a program around. But if you're Coach Mooney, you accept the fact that it's not going to be a good year, but you keep the kids as a family. You work, you keep them, and it's hard to do. And every coach will tell you, he told us on Wednesday, it is so hard to keep a team focused like that and turn things around and get them to see positives when you don't have the horses. But this Beaver Falls, they don't have many down years. But when you play them in any sport, you're going to be in for a fight. And I'm guaranteeing you these kids from New Brighton are going to be feeling it tomorrow morning. They're going to be hurting because Beaver Falls gave them everything they had in that second half. That, to me, was – and you're right. Outmanned by age, by height, by weight. You don't see that very often. They had a lot.
The one thing you can't measure is heart. And the way you determine what the heart is by watching these young guys play. And they played with the heart of seniors. They played with the heart of champions tonight.
And I want to ask Tank this. You're on the sidelines, and you saw – I did this last year on the sidelines. You see and feel that sideline, and it just seemed like early in that second half, that sideline was up. They were ready. They're pursuing the ball. Other than a few mistakes here and there, they could win this game. Uh-oh. He's off.
Hey.
There we go. He's back.
I was saying, those kids never thought they were out of this game, and they definitely weren't. It was just – it wasn't like a chess match. It was like a heavyweight fight.
It was. We talked like that. There were times that one play where the kid got the ball at the 30-yard line. It pushed him back to almost the 10-yard line. The pursuit – it's young kids, but I like to see that fight because there's some games we've done where teams are getting beaten, it's over, and they never compete. In this game, this team said, I'm tired of getting beat at home, and they just went after them.
They just picked each other up. Nobody was out there saying, hey, you should have did this, should have did this. They said, hey, let's get back there and get in it.
It's something else that's important, too. When you were interviewing Mooney, you could tell he's emotionally invested in this team.
You're right.
He's emotionally invested in these kids. He has a passion. He has a love. Not only it isn't about not winning a game, it's about what this means to the kids, and you can tell how devoted he is to them. And Beaver Falls is fortunate to have a man like that.
I agree.
And all of these parents that have these kids on this field, fortunate to have him as a head coach.
I'm excited for New Brighton Beaver Falls for years to come, for sure, after this.
We talked to him Wednesday night, and you could tell he had passion. Very good point, Robert. He had passion, and he knows he's losing, but he's working to build this team, and he had a passion I haven't seen from a lot of coaches. And he wants them not just be football players, but to make them better men. And the kids that were there were all, you could just tell, they didn't seem to be downtrodden and upset because they had win games. So he's got them with a good attitude, and he's a first-time head coach. That means a lot.
Let's look at the other sideline for a second, if we could, because McCougar's doing an amazing job over at New Brighton. When you can come into a program, the last time they won a game
was 3 years ago.
Well, yeah.
Beaver Falls beat them in the playoffs.
Yeah, Beaver Falls was the team that started that losing streak. And they were able to get some comeuppance on them today. Right. And you had guys like a Mike Vion and a couple of others, Salata and others, that they've been through this. They've seen all of the losses, but they stuck with the program and they bought into what Cougs brought in the offseason.
They were those little kids on the field saying, "Hey, watch me." They were in the stands seeing that.
And I know Mike Vion's dad, and I know that there have been some other guys, we won't mention their names, who left the program and went to other schools and played.
Yes.
And left. And they didn't want to go through the tough times, but Mike Vion and others stuck with it. And those linemen that played as freshmen and got beat up by Beaver Falls and everybody else stuck with it. And then they went and got some other kids. Now they're better. And they're getting better. And Tank, I'm just happy to see the teams that have struggled for years, the Hopewells, the New Brightons, the Elwood Cities, the Riversides back, and Beaver County football's back now. Because the last 3 or 4 years have been, it's Central Valley, Aliquippa, then Beaver, and maybe West Beaver. Now you've got other teams coming up, and it's going to be tougher for us to pick games, and it makes things better, I think.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I mean,
it's not just you. Your first year. It's not just you making things better.
Yeah, I know. You just needed to have a tank on the sideline.
That's what we've always needed, is a tank on the sideline. That's what it is. All right, stay right there. We're coming back with more to wrap things up here. 34-22, New Brighton topping Beaver Falls to take home the Little Brown Jug. We'll come back in a moment on Beaver County Radio.
The sound of classic golden oldies and classic cars just naturally go together. Gary Snare and his professional team at Gnu's Body Works in Freedom is ready to help you relive those golden days of memories of yesterday in style. They specialize in restoration and customization of all makes and models to make your dream ride a reality. Everything from lowering or airbagging your rod or street custom to fill custom color paint color. GNU's also handles collision and general repairs. Restore your old ride to its former glory. Call GNU's Body Works, 408th Street in Freedom.
Zookie's Sports Tavern on Constitution Boulevard has the best wings and homemade sauces in Beaver County. Zookie's Sports Tavern is the perfect place to grab a bite to eat or a cold beverage before high school basketball games. Zookie's Sports Tavern has a heated and enclosed outside bar equipped with several big screen TVs and is the ideal place to watch all of your favorite sports. Don't forget to become a VIP for discounts and special offers at Zookies.com. That's Zookie's Sports Tavern on Constitution Boulevard.
Looking for that special home or wanting to sell yours? Let the Lisa Latham team, brokered by eXp Realty, help you. Hi, I'm Tank Latham, and our goal is to make you feel comfortable whether buying or selling. Lisa and I strive to make the process as smooth and as easy as possible. We invite you to visit the all-new eXp office located at 926 3rd Avenue, New Brighton. Give us a call at 724-307-5472. Check out Beaver County Home Inventory on our website, lisalatham.com. The Lisa Latham team, results that move you.
Did you know that if you have the ability to listen to the radio, you have the ability to dig a ditch? It's true. By renting the right equipment from D&G Rentals in Beaver Falls, you can turn big projects into simple ones. So if you can master your cell phone, you can probably build a new patio or pour a new sidewalk. You already have the know-how, you just don't have the right tools. And that's where D&G Rentals comes in. Visit dgrent.com. So remember, if you can change the channel, you can probably change a transmission with a little help from D&G Rentals. When it comes to school buses in Beaver County, it's hard not to notice the shiny Fry Transportation fleet. Fry Transportation has been a local family-owned Beaver County business for over 30 years. As any successful football team must be dependable and reliable, these same qualities have made Fry Transportation a champion operation. Best wishes to all local teams and safe travels to the gridirons this season from your friends at Fry Transportation.
After any big game, people will be talking. This is Ellen Bross from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. The same is true when you get your new vehicle from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Neighbors, friends, and co-workers will notice the new winning style reflected in the car, truck, or SUV you just got from Falcone's Moon Township Ford. Located on University Boulevard, across from Robert Morris. Click and save at moonford.com and discover what the talk is all about. Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
In order to call the right play, you have to be able to communicate. Dental hygiene not only affects appearance and eating habits, it can also have an impact on your ability to speak clearly. Dr. C. Timothy Lip wants you to keep your teeth in the game, and he has a playbook designed for success so that you can call the right play or even call an audible. Get suited up for a win, or at least a winning smile, by joining Dr. C. Timothy Lip's team in Beaver Falls or Robinson Township. Visit lipdentistry.com.
Getting into the lineup and making the team is easy at Freedom United Federal Credit Union. Training camp is starting and you are invited. This is Coach Andy Dangle and I'm looking for new teammates. Membership is open to many organizations and groups throughout the county. Join my team at Freedom United Federal Credit Union. Details and applications are available now. Visit Freedom United Federal Credit Union today. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Tri-State Sporting Arms on Main Street in New Brighton is now open. Stop in and explore their extensive selection of high-quality firearms, pistols, and accessories. Tri-State Sporting Arms also pays top dollar for used firearms. Their experienced and highly trained staff is here to assist you in selecting the right firearm for you. Stop on down to Beaver County's newest firearm store, Tri-State Sporting Arms, at 807 3rd Avenue, New Brighton, or check them out on Facebook.
You know, I've heard people refer to older veteran athletes as being all washed up. Well, quite frankly, that's a rather nice compliment if you ask me. This is the Aquaman of Beaver County, Jim Riggio from the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority. When you hear something like that, you have to consider the source of the water, that is. After all, getting washed up with Beaver Falls Municipal Authority water can't be a bad thing. That's because for over 80 years, we've made it possible for everyone to feel washed up, even if they are not star athletes. Click bfwater.net.
Make your dream of a college degree a reality at Community College of Beaver County. CCBC offers 10 pathways to success, including health sciences, criminal justice, industrial technology, business, and more. Start at CCBC and finish your career or get transfer ready, all at a realistic cost. Enroll today. ccbc.edu. You're listening to 2024 high school football coverage on Beaver County Radio from the McGee Heating and Cooling broadcast booth. Tonight's game is being brought to you in part by Falcone's Moon Township Ford, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, the Community College of Beaver County, Fisher's New Brighton Foodland, Al's Pizza in New Brighton, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Tri-State Sporting Arms, Drug-Free Aliquippa, McGee Heating and Cooling, LGKG, the St. Barnabas Health System, and Beaver County Radio.
You're listening to 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas, in addition to 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls.
The Electric Garage Doors postgame show continues from the McGee Heating and Air Conditioning broadcast booth. Mike Azadian and the recap of this game, 34-22 victory for New Brighton over Beaver Falls.
New Brighton dominated this first half. Heath Lewis on the touchdown early. After a block punt, made it 6-0. And then after New Brighton threw an interception, they come back, a 24-yard touchdown reception. Josiah Montanez made it 12-0. Missed kick and then a missed 2-point conversion. Beaver Falls didn't do much with it. They turned it over on downs twice. They punted. They threw an interception. They did not have a good first half. The end of the first half, it looked like New Brighton, possibly with a dagger, a 65-yard touchdown reception by Mike Coleckley. 2-point conversion by Vion was 20-0 heading into the half, and you thought, well, this game could be a blowout, but no. Beaver Falls says, we're going to play better. New Brighton fumbles early. Beaver Falls scores on a 1-yard Zayshawn McKelvey. And a 2-point conversion by him was 20-8. After another fumble, Beaver Falls comes back and scores again. And I did not write down who scored it. That was the touchdown reception, and in the ball was in the end zone. It was the recovery in the end zone. I'm sorry, Terrence Bank.
Yes, on the fumble recovery.
On the fumble recovery, made it 20-14. And then Mike Vion with a 9-yard touchdown run made it 27-14. They come right back again. Sincere Freeman with a 4-yard touchdown made it 27-22. They got the 2-point conversion within 5, but they just couldn't play enough defense. They didn't have enough left, and Vion scored toward the end to make it 34-22. Beaver Falls fumbled at the end, but Beaver Falls outscored them in the second half. But Mike Vion, got to give him a lot of credit for what he did in that second half to keep that offense going. And a good game by both teams.
The Electric Garage Doors postgame show, a couple of scores from the Fried Transportation Update Desk, a complete list of all the scores coming up with the Falcone's Moon Township Ford wrap-up show coming up with Bruce Fry in just a moment. But first, though, scores that matter because we're going to be doing the game coming up in a week.
Yep.
First, Montour Spartans and Ambridge, 47-13 Montour all over Ambridge, and Aliquippa deciding that they are ready for the playoffs and making a deep run. They just manhandled Blackhawk 48-13.
Until you knock the Cougars off, until you knock the Quips off and keep them from going down to a championship game, they're the team to beat every single year. Montour right now is in first place because they have a half-game lead over the Quips, and they're going to be at Montour. We did the game a couple years ago, and Quip blew them out. And we did the game 3 years ago, Quip blew them out. And Quip has handled them over the years. Now, Montour has gotten better over the last 2 or 3 years, and they seem to be a real serious contender in 4A. It's going to be an interesting game, but the Quips, and we've said this every single year, they get challenged by a West Allegheny. They seem to get mad when someone challenges them at home and almost beats them. And then they just come right out and whip somebody the next game. And they whip Blackhawk, who's not a bad team.
No, they're not a bad team.
And so now they get to go in.
Right.
Then they need to go into Montour. And now I anticipate a really good game next week. And we'll see if Montour's up to the challenge of the Quips, because the Quips, with Pikey Hayes, it seems to be back. He had 4 touchdowns in the first half.
Yeah, Montour, for people who don't realize this, rated as one of the top teams by not only the Beaver County Times, the Post-Gazette, the Tribune Review. I mean, all of them look at the value that this team brings to the table and how they could clearly make a run as well. Depending upon how the playoff seeding takes place, could we see them matched up again at some point in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think so, because 4A they're two of the top 3 teams probably. Most likely, probably maybe 1 and 2. We'll see. And if that happens, they could meet in the championship or in the semifinals. But there's a long way to go between that. But they seem to be two of the best teams.
We're looking forward to it. Coming up next week on the Beaver County Radio Game of the Week. Final thoughts. We'll start with you, Tank, about the game that we watched today and looking forward to next week.
Definitely, I love the fight on both sides of the ball, on both sides of the sidelines as well. New Brighton came out, showed that they were ready to take on Beaver Falls and take home the jug. Congratulations, New Brighton. Enjoy that pep rally. Drink that sweet river water, just like I did back in 2001. All right, Beaver Falls, you got some great young talent coming up, and you got some great young kids that are fans out there. Keep fighting. It's going to come back.
And, I love doing this. And, there's some games you really look forward to, and they're not as good. And there's some games you think, but this is why we do this. Yeah. I mean, to see great football, see the crowds, see the excitement, and to see these young kids get better. And I'm just proud of the kids and the coaching staffs on teams that aren't giving up and new blood at all these schools I mentioned. So Beaver County football has gotten better this year, where the last couple of years got stale. So I'm excited to see the playoffs and excited for the next few years.
This is the kind of game, I tell you, from just being part of New Brighton and in Beaver Falls community, this is a game that they circle.
Oh, yeah.
Back when they're weightlifting, they're putting it in their locker, and they're saying, I'm winning this game, and they're focusing on it.
You get guys like good guys like Jim Mooney and the new coach, when you get McCouga, you get the new blood taking over and invigorating programs. I really like seeing that.
And one of the things that I liked a lot today was, one, the crowd was fantastic.
Yes.
I can't get over how many people showed up for this game, not only from Beaver Falls, but from New Brighton as well.
Yeah.
I love the heart that these young guys showed on both teams, because generally speaking, they are both young teams. Mm-hmm. They're not big guys. You're not going to see anybody that's going at this level right now that you can say, okay, that's a D1 guy. We're not seeing that at this point. But we're seeing the heart of D1 talent. Mm-hmm. That are playing today in this game. I'm looking forward to what they can do in the future. And I love the passion that the coaches have, the dedication that they have coming in, recognizing that they were taking over in very difficult situations, McCouga and in Mooney, and deciding that they're going to take this opportunity, run with it, and really show the emotional investment that they have in these
Coach
kids.
Scholler for New Brighton actually is Beaver Falls elementary teacher this year, first-year teacher.
Interesting.
Oh, wow.
Well, one last thing I'll say is, and you brought this up, Tank, the fact that Jim Mooney wears his heart on his sleeve. And, he seemed so disappointed in this loss. They had chances, and he said it. Young team, we made mistakes. But he knew he had chances. He's taken this to heart. I just hope it doesn't wear on him so much. And I hope he can get through this year and then work to next year, because they'll be better next year.
I'm hoping the entire community continues to support him even through these difficult times.
You've got to build on the little victories that you do have.
That's right. On behalf of technical guru Curtis Walsh, cameraman Keith Walsh, statistician Big Country Daniel Campbell, sideline reporter Tank Latham, my broadcast partner Mike Azadian, and Ryan Garazunas back at Beaver County Radio headquarters, I'm Angino. You've been listening to the best in Beaver County football on Beaver County Radio.
Thanks for tuning in to high school football on Beaver County Radio. Tonight's game was brought to you by eXp Realty, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Patriot Home Care, Keystone Wellness Programs, Fry Transportation, Forward RX, Electric Garage Door Sales, the YMCA, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, McDonald's, Moon Auto, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, CCBC, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Fisher's New Brighton Foodland, Al's Pizza, Tri-State Sporting Arms, Drug-Free Aliquippa, McGee Heating and Air Conditioning, LGKG, St. Barnabas, Gnu's Body Works, the J&J Spratt Funeral Home, Hallowed Grounds, J. Young Refuse, Zuki Sports Tavern, the Rochester Hotel, Henderson Insurance, D&G Rentals, S.E. Snyder Insurance, and Beaver County Radio, 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP.